Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand, Manchester United versus Crystal Palace, live stream watch along, an hour before kick-off. Team news will be in 5 minutes, but there's some big team news coming in. Potentially Romelu Lukaku misses this game with injury. However, positives, Anthony Martial is at the ground in a tracksuit, as is, take it as a positive or a negative, Marouane Fellaini's there as well. I think he'll play Fellaini today. I personally would like to see Herrera and Matic continue what they started on Wednesday night. But Fellaini and Martial are back and part of the squad, which is a big positive. In relation to Lukaku, the rumours are that Lukaku will not start this game. He has an injury. You know what? Remy Boyka-Smith says Lukaku will play. I suspect Lukaku will play as well. But what I want to say is, I'm not in meltdown. From a fantasy Premier League point of view I am, because I think I've captained him. But I'm not in meltdown because this is why you've got Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial. Because against these sort of teams at home, Crystal Palace, we're going to bring in the experience of people like Mata. Mkhitaryan will play. We've got Matic. You know, we could have Herrera in there. We've got the creativity to score the goals against Crystal Palace, and Marcus Rashford and Martial can do that. I think Lukaku will play. We're about to find out in 5 minutes whether he will do or not. But I'm happy with the team, whatever it is. And as Kamlesh says, no Lukaku, no party, says Zushas. But no Lukaku, no is a big problem, says Kamlesh. So a lot of people are getting a bit negative about it. Not for me. I think we'll be okay. I do. Lukaku could be injured. Mourinho resting Lukaku with injury to keep him out of the international, says YouTuber. It did cross my mind, but like suck my wiggly diggly dong. Nice, good name. Lukaku will start. Well, we're going to find out in 5 minutes, like I said. Drop us a like on the video. We like to get 1,000 likes before kick-off. Big day for the United Stand as well, as we were discussing last night. But more about Manchester United for the next few hours. We need to get these 3 points done and dusted. Go into the second international break with another. Well, we will be top of the league. Sit back and watch Crystal Palace versus Chelsea later on with 3 points in our pocket. Mark, can I have a shout out? Says N320QW. Maybe they're resting him because they don't want the drama of the chant at Old Trafford. Who knows? The fan cams will be going up tonight, Mr. Manchester United. So a big day if you're a United Stand or Manchester United fan. We will have fan cams going up this evening from the ground. Really excited about that. But you've got me, the watch-along match reaction before all that jazz kicks in. Rad Magon says it's just a knock. And don't believe the hype, says Ahmad. Rashford can fill Lukaku's shoes if he's injured, says Football Red Devils. Yeah, I agree with that. So if you're just joining us, Fellaini's there, Martial's there, but there's a rumour that Lukaku is injured. We will find out in 3 minutes, as I said. Smalling and Bay start, Darmian at left back, and Lukaku starts. That's the early team news from Hassan Mahedin. Let's see if he's right. Of course, it's Hallam899 Live's first time watching. Hello, Hallam. I'm not falling for it back. And yeah, what was I going to say? So yeah, we know Phil Jones out, so Smalling and Bay is exactly the right thing. I think some people thought maybe Lindelof. Darmian coming into the team, where does he play then? Why is Darmian playing? Because we've got Valencia and we've got Ashley Young. I don't see the point in Darmian in a game like this. Is pointless. Crystal Palace are going to park the bus. Get some width. Get some. You know, I'd rather see Luke Shaw play than Darmian. But really, realistically, surely it should be Ashley Young and Valencia. Foot B at Antoinus that says Lukaku to score any time is my tip for today. If you are putting a bet on today, my tip is actually Lukaku to score first goal scorer if he starts. United to keep a clean sheet and United to win by 2 or more goals. Fans of Fosu Mensah can't play against his parent club, Mini Diver. You've said can. I think you meant to say can't. The lineup is not actually in yet. It will be Mad Scoot Pad in the next 2 minutes. Happy birthday to me, says Luca. Luca, thank you. And Magnus says Mourinho's playing mind games with Pogba's injuries. He'll definitely play in against Liverpool. And AC Slater wants a shout out for Andy from Dublin. There you go. He's still going to do the match vlogs because I want to see the celebration, says Mr. Man United. Yes, we will be doing that. And another 4-0 coming in, says Anshuman Singh. We are live a little bit early, aren't we? Because I'm just reading comments at the moment, waiting for this team news to come in. But we went live a little bit early because there was potential that Lukaku was out of this game with a knock. I'm not in meltdown if it's true. I don't think it will be true, but I'm not in meltdown if it's true because I think we've got the players to cope without Lukaku. I think, you know, Rashford's a better number 9 than he is a left winger, and he's more than capable of playing that position. Shout out from Maryland, says Legals EZE, and Matic will score today, says Adem Mohammed. Wow, it's a big shout for you. Big shout. If Lukaku doesn't start, Martial will score a hat-trick, says Pankaj. Well, I think if Lukaku starts, Rashford will play on the left and Martial will be on the bench. I mean, what do we think about that? But it's all about to happen. It's all about to happen. James Andrews says it's his first time watching all the way from Trinidad. There's a good chance we could hit 139,000 subscribers today. So remember to share the video, like the video and let people know about it, because that'd be 39 is one of my favourite numbers. I've always liked the number 39. So 139,000 would be a nice thing to go into the international break. I'm still waiting on the team news. I'm on the right page. It'll be coming in for you very, very soon. Loads going on today. Very, very busy day. Actually was watching my daughter play football this morning. She scored a goal, but they only had 4 players and it's 5-a-side and they got battered about 12-1. 12-2, but she scored a goal. Played very well. But busy, busy, busy. Which, you know, for a weekend, you want a bit of downtime. But we are waiting for the team news. It's going to be coming in any second now. Any second now. Any second now. Any second now. What have I just clicked on? I like Mourinho, but I don't want to see his face. When you've been on the right page for the last 5 minutes and you click off it at the pertinent moment, it's still not in. That's why. A little bit late today with the team news. They're normally a bit quicker than that. You might be getting it quicker on the live comments. Swagger Mandan says he's watching from China. And 39 was Rashford's old number. Yeah, I do love the number 39. Come on, get this team news out. What's the team, says Fionn Curtin. It's normally out, but Mr. Man United says that Lukaku's starting. It's official. 3 o'clock kickoff. Hooray, says Bart O'Callaghan. He's happy with it. Oh, you know, see, I always go off Manchester United Twitter for the team news, and they're bang slow today. And I think you lot are probably getting it a little bit quicker than I am. They've let us down. Sack Manchester United Twitter for being slow. Lukaku is playing. Bayes dropped. Jones is starting. Lukaku starts. Jones and Smalling. So that was a red herring anyway. Oh, for God's sake. How slow? I am not using Manchester United Twitter anymore for team news. This is bloody embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Sort yourselves out, Manchester United Twitter. You're useless. Here it is, the team then. So, De Gea in goal. Valencia, captain at right back. Ashley Young's playing at left back. So, whoever said Darmian's playing was a liar. Herrera's on the bench. I'm disappointed by that. I'm really disappointed by that. Jones and Smalling centre-backs, fine. Young, fine. Matic and Fellaini. Mata, Mkhitaryan, Rashford, Lukaku. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed with that team. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't see the point in Fellaini starting. Let's get Ross on anyway. Ross, can you hear me?
How you doing, Mark? You alright?
I'm good. I'm a bit disappointed with the team, if I'm honest.
You are?
Yeah, Fellaini coming in for the team. I'm disappointed. I really liked Herrera and Matic the other day, and I'm disappointed.
I'm the other way. I'm quite content with it, to be honest. I did see a little bit of this Lukaku not starting, which looked like absolute nonsense. But I'm happy with the wing backs. Fellaini,
Martial's on the bloody bench as well. Oh, for God's sake! I'm getting fed up of this.
The thing is, though, right? And I was watching Jose's press conference. Is apparently he was saying they didn't get back from Moscow until something like 5 o'clock Friday morning. So it was obvious that he was going to try and rest as many players as he could. He's been moaning about that game for a long time, and the fact that Fellaini didn't play in that game, he was always going to start ahead of Herrera, and being that was Herrera's first 90 minutes of the season, it was always going to happen. And I'm the other way. I thought Matic and Herrera worked really well against Moscow, but they were crap. They were really crap, and I honestly think McTominay and someone else would have looked like worldies against them. So I'm not opposed for Fellaini coming back in, especially against Palace.
No, I'll disagree with you on that one. I think we should be building a team that's now looking to win a title, and Matic and Fellaini as a midfield too. I don't like it. I know Mourinho always says that when Pogba's injured, Fellaini's my replacement for him. But, you know, I know how United should play, and it shouldn't be with Fellaini and Matic in the midfield. It should be Herrera. they were fantastic the other night, breaking up the play. Their passing's far better. Fellaini's a lot of effort, but he's a bang average footballer. I don't like it. And also, you know, Martial came off pretty early in that game. He should be. I just don't know what Martial needs to do to start football matches. He was absolutely sensational the other night. Mourinho cannot hide behind the fact that Martial's got a knock, because Fellaini's got a knock as well and he's starting. It's just typical. Rashford starts because he prefers Rashford to Martial. I love Martial, but this is perfect. You know, why? How can a player play so well on Wednesday night and then they still don't get rewarded with the starting place? And people can say, "Oh, you're moaning, Mark," whatever like that. I'm not. I am moaning in a bit because this is just silly now. This is silly. We are trying to win a title and Martial can do no more. He can do no more and he should be starting games now. He should. It's an insult to him to be benched. It really is. He's our best player, bar none, and he should not be on the bench. But we'll have more than enough to win. We'll have more than enough to win. But I think he's weakened the team today for no good reason. But at least Lukaku starts.
Yeah, Lukaku starts. Big plus. I think he was always going to start. Even if Lukaku's got even more than a knock, I think he'll start because he gets away. He can get away with carrying a knock because his movement in the box isn't actually that pragmatic. He's just always in the right position, which is fantastic. But Martial was always going to be benched today. And to be honest, Martial Rashford thing, I like it. I like the rotation. It's obvious that Martial was fantastic on Wednesday. But you know, Rashford's a very good player, and Rashford, he's had a couple of off games, but he does put in a shift. And like I said, we're going to see a lot of Martial this season, a hell of a lot. And he's just, you know, I find it nice because he's building him up, and he's almost near his peak performance, Martial, already. And he's still fresh, so fresh. And I think Rashford's starting to look a little bit leggy already. So it will be nice. And I think we will see the transition between Rashford and Martial quite soon. Obviously not today. But like you said, there's plenty there to beat Crystal Palace that haven't scored a competitive goal this season, which is shocking. And to be honest, I'm not saying it just to say it, but you know how it always is, Mark. You always like to eat humble pie, and I can imagine that Fellaini will score today because watching Crystal Palace's games, they are so poor at set pieces, and that height we should absolutely dominate. So you're looking at players like Ashley Young, especially, to deliver that killer cross because we could get bags of goals from crosses today.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Mourinho is very manipulative like that. You know, he does want us to all fall in love with Fellaini, and what better way to do that than to play him against an absolutely rubbish side? And I'm sure he will score, but I will never change my mind on Fellaini. I never will. We won't win the title with him in the midfield, and Pogba needs to, if we play against Liverpool like this, we'll get beat. I don't want to bring the mood down a bit, but we will. We will get beat against Liverpool with that midfield. It is not good enough. But having said that, we're on to a winner today. We will not draw this game today. We certainly won't lose it. We will win this game. I think, like you were on about CSK Moscow, Ross, I think McTominay could play today, Darmian could play today, Lingard could play today, and we'll still win by a couple of goals. Crystal Palace are they're literally going to park the bus. Benteke's out, you know, the one player they've got that you could put up front on his own who's quite a handful, they don't have. Fosu Menz has been their best player. He's not playing. They haven't scored a goal, like you said. They're rock bottom. They're managed by Roy Hodgson. I tell you what, have we got time to get up for the second half? Because I think we could run out as well and still they wouldn't score because it's nailed on. So whatever Mourinho wanted to pick today, we were going to win the game. And I don't want people to get lost in the fact that I'm being negative about the team. I'm frustrated. I wanted to see Herrera and Martial play. I make no lies about. I make no qualms about that. But I'm a big Rashford fan. I even said if Lukaku wasn't fit, I mean, there was a lot of people melting down. I wasn't that worried. I don't know about you. I really wasn't because I thought that's what, you know, Rashford's a better number 9 than he is a winger. He could have played Martial on the left. I would have been quite excited by that. But good that Lukaku's not injured.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there would have been. I would have been a little bit. It's lovely to see Lukaku, brilliant player, scoring bags of goals. I would have loved to have seen Martial up front because I think he's very good in that position. But do you know what? Going on what we did on Wednesday, I'm really looking forward to seeing us. I think we will naturally progress into that formation that we played on Wednesday into the Premier League, which is the kind of 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. And I thought there's been a lot and you'll probably agree with this, there's been a lot spoken about Lukaku Rashford being the new York and Cole. Well, I thought Lukaku and Martial's link-up play was far beyond that. And I think that that's going to be the partnership that will, if we are going to win something, that's going to be the one that clicks. But again, there's no rush with it. It's going to happen. And Mourinho's not an idiot. He would have seen that on Wednesday. But today it's Rashford. But I do agree. I think Martial links up better with Lukaku.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, and people at home. Do you think that formation would have been a waste of time against Crystal Palace today, considering they're not going to, 3 centre-backs? I know it allows you full-backs to get forward, but this is more of this formation today has got more attack intent in it. I mean, the 3-5-2 works well against a team that's going to try and play football against you, and I don't think Crystal Palace will. So, although it gives you 2 up front, I think it would be a little bit too defensive to have 3 centre-backs.
Yeah, totally agree with the centre-backs that we have. I think that can be an attacking formation when you have the quality in centre-back position, kind of like Real Madrid have. I know they don't play that formation, but to take the ball out of defence and bring it into midfield. And you don't want Smalling doing that because he's useless. I don't know if he's playing today, I can't remember, but even Jones. Yeah, and you don't want Bailly doing it either because he's not that great with the ball at his feet. The best one we've got at that is Lindelof, and I thought he had actually... And we didn't speak after Wednesday's game, but I thought he had a really good game. And I know they were crap, but it was nice to see Lindelof have a good game because it's the first one I've seen him have in the United shirt.
Talking of centre-backs, retraction, more than happy to do this when I get it wrong. But I did say, and it's a real positive as well, because I think we did sort of speak about it last night on the show from the point of view of that it was a sad thing, really, because apart from this mistake against Stoke, he has been quite good this season. Phil Jones, I know why Mourinho likes him, because he is the closest thing to John Terry in his prime in football at the moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. As a footballer, John Terry was very good. As an individual, complete clown. But Phil Jones, we expected Phil Jones to miss this game. In fact, Jose Mourinho, a lot of people think that Paul Pogba will play against Liverpool because Mourinho is playing mind games. Well, he certainly played a bit of mind games with Phil Jones, who apparently yesterday was definitely missing this game. And then today, this afternoon, he's lining up. I mean, 2 positives there. 1, you can't trust Mourinho on injury updates. So there's a bit positive about Pogba potentially. But 2, Phil Jones hasn't actually missed a game. He was rested, as we thought, against Moscow, and he's back in the team today. So... good. Phil Jones still pretty much fit and going strong, and I think that's a positive. Massive
positive, and I've only just twigged this actually. So he's dropped Bailly for some reason.
Well, maybe it's the reason.
Quite baffled by that. But do you know what? On that, Bailly has been. He hasn't been the Bailly we had last season. He's been really good. But he hasn't been phenomenal. But I just think that's, him getting ready for the season. He's taken a little bit of time to settle in again. But Bailly's our best centre-back by far. But saying that, I don't think he has been our best centre-back this season. But Jones and Smalling is a funny one. Because, Jones was our man of the match against Southampton. I thought he was phenomenal. But when they play together... When they play with someone like Bailly, you think, right, we've got one solid one and one centre-back that can make a mistake. Now I kind of feel like we've got 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Ross was a bit worried there that Bailly had been dropped, but he had no sympathy for me about Martial and Herrera, so I've got no sympathy with you about Bailly. But maybe you're right. Maybe they've been rested because of a taxing journey on Wednesday. And actually, we know as... winners of the Europa League that Thursday to Sunday afternoon, it's only 2.5 days and it can be quite taxing. We did play Wednesday night, we are playing Saturday afternoon. It's the same as a Thursday Sunday Europa thing, so we haven't had and it was a long trip, so maybe that's a little bit to it. But Dan Butterworth saying that Luke Shaw should have started, not even on the bench, and that's sort of come true. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago actually, Ross, weren't we, about Luke Shaw? And I did say that I really like Luke Shaw, and you were sort of saying you're starting to jump off the bandwagon a bit. But I did say I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him until after the international break now. I think Mourinho will just be more focused on him, just training a lot and, seeing if he's going to break down rather than chucking him into games.
Yeah, Luke Shaw, his unlucky streak just continues for me, to be honest, because although he's come back from another quite a long injury, we have so many left backs in our team, and all of them are performing really well. I mean, I don't think anyone expected Young to come back and do as well as he is. He's probably been one of our best wing backs this season. And Valencia's been phenomenal, but Ashley Young's crossing has been next level. And I think I love Daley Blind as a left back as well. I think he's probably our best left back defender, even over Darmian. I think Darmian's position is poor. I think he's got to displace Darmian for me and start getting in these squads at least. But to get into this first team, Luke Shaw's got a really long way to go, because like you're kind of waiting for, like Phil Jones, Ashley Young to get injured, because it tends to happen every season.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's got to work himself onto the bench first, and I think Ashley Young's been an absolute revelation. Spurs beating Huddersfield 3-0. I'm one off on my Superbury predictor. I went 2-0. Do you do that, Ross? Did you go? I did fancy Spurs to win today away from home. I think they just let loose from Wembley.
No, but I've got Christian Eriksen in my fantasy Premier League team. I can't believe Spurs scored 3 goals and he's not been involved in any of them.
No, I've got Dele Alli and he's not done anything either. So it's just, well, it's one of them games. But Chelsea City today as well. But we've got to get the business done first. That's what United have got to do. So I'm totally confident we will. What's your score prediction, Ross, and everybody at home?
Cool. It's a really tough one. We obviously no, I'm not going to say it. I think we're going to win 3-0. 3-0? 3-0, yeah. I
went 2-0, which I think is a bit conservative, but I'm only going to... And I'll be happy with 2-0. Very happy. As long as we win, I'm not bothered. But I can't see Palace scoring. Not in a million years. I think they're going to park the bus. I think if Hodgson was offered 0-0 now, he'd pay millions of pounds for it. I think they're going to be very hard to break down. And I just think it might be a long afternoon, but we will come out on top. So patience is going to be a virtue, but I don't think we're going to batter them. I can see it being... I think it'll be 2-0. To be honest, I think that midfield's a little bit static with Fellaini in it, and I think what we're going to do with Fellaini today is, because they're... I mean, I've got to actually just say something that I was disappointed that Fellaini started, because I want Herrera to play. But you know what? I was thinking about it this morning. If Fellaini had been fit, which he is, there's just no way he was going to pick Herrera, for the simple reason we've seen it in a couple of games. Actually, having Herrera and Matic would be a bit of waste of time in this game, because it's a bit like the Everton game a couple of weeks ago. Palace are going to park the bus. Matic will end up being the lone midfielder, and Fellaini will just get in the box, and he'll be another support he'll run beyond Mkhitaryan, and he'll be another big bloke in the box with Lukaku, which is what Mourinho likes to do. So the Fellaini... So I actually wanted Fellaini to be fit today, but to be on the bench, so that in the last 20 minutes, if it was 0-0, you can just chuck him on. But I actually think we're going to use him from minute 1 for that reason. Get in the box. We're not going to have to do a lot of defending. Jones or Smalling can step into the midfield with Matic, and Fellaini will spend a lot of time in the opposition's box. So a goal from Fellaini is probably a good shout.
Yeah, well, you fear for their centre-backs when... Because we're obviously the sensible thing is to say to Matic, sit, don't do anything, and just keep getting the ball out to Ashley Young, and let Ashley Young do the business. And if you've got Lukaku coming near post, kind of middle of the box, and Fellaini going back post like he does, I mean, I wouldn't envy the job of marking them two at all. Like you say, but that's if we do that, you know. But I hope that he is, because, like you say, we don't really need 2 midfielders against what they're going to play one up front, which is Benteke, who I know he can occupy a few centre backs when he's on form, but this season it's been beyond terrible. The games that I've seen him play, so yeah, we kind of and to be honest, I think Matic is good enough to occupy. He's as good as 2 centre midfielders for me.
Yeah, definitely. Apparently, Spurs have scored again. It's 4-0.
Christian Eriksen, hopefully.
No, I think it's Sissoko, so you're not in luck. Let's have a look. You were going to be at the game today, weren't you, Ross, actually? Just thinking about it.
I was, yeah. I bottled it last minute. Yeah, unfortunately. Do you know what? I bottled it last minute because I was supposed to me and me partner are supposed to be having some friends over for dinner, but they've cancelled on us, the bastards.
Oh, right, so you could have gone.
Could have gone.
Well, it's a monumentous day potentially. I mean, never say never until it's in the can. But we do have cameraman and presenter up at United today, taking fan cams afterwards. So we will hopefully get some fan cams going up for you this after the game. We're going to do the watch along. I'll do my match reaction, and then probably from about 6 o'clock tonight, make sure you got your notifications on for the United stand by subscribing and clicking that bell, or just visit later on at half time, maybe in the City Chelsea game, and we should start getting the very first fan cams from outside Old Trafford. And it's something we're going to try and do a few times this season as well, because as far as I'm concerned, yeah, other people do it, we know other clubs do it, but do they put 50 fan cams up? Do they put 100 fan cams up? No, they probably put about 5 up, many of which are the same people every week. So if there's another channel doing it, it's more opportunity for you, the fans, to be on this channel. We already do Skype shows for the global fans, and we're not going to neglect you. That's what this channel's always been about. But more people having a voice, for me, I don't care if 10 channels are doing it outside Old Trafford. If you lot get more of a chance to get on and have your say, the better. And I know I was always against it. I'm not going to be a liar and say I wasn't always against it, but we've been convinced to do it, and I think it's a good thing. And hopefully, well, Ross, you could have been on one of them today, but next time you're up there, get yourself on.
Yeah, mate, I think it's a good idea. Why not? Why not, eh?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is we probably won't end up like Arsenal Fan TV, because I don't really see us losing that many this season, so we're only going to be talking about the good things.
Exactly. And the important thing is to not be a lot of fan cams and other channels are just in for it. They kind of prey on the loss because they know they get views, and that's kind of the route. I know you won't go down it. You don't want to go down. So
let's have a think. We win today. We're joint top after 2 international breaks. What does that mean for Manchester United in comparison to your predictions, hopes for the season so far?
Predictions, hopes for the seasons. Well, look, we've got a record to break today, hopefully, which is clean sheets up to this point. I think we'll break a record for best start with conceding goals. But for me, it's getting a lead on our rivals before we play them, and I think that's really key. I'm not looking for the season of where we're going to finish. I just think that when we get to this list of games, if we start to play the difficult teams, if we're ahead of them, we have the trump card basically, and it's up to them to come at us. And I think that's where we'll be more lethal, and that's where potentially, I know you said we won't, but we could see like maybe a Rashford and Martial starting, because if teams have got to come at us, as we've seen over the course of the season, we can absolutely punish them. But if we're going into them games knowing that we have to get points, we have to win, that's when it's going to become tough. So for me, we just need to keep getting these 3 points, knowing that rivals are playing each other later on today. It will just be a great feeling to watch that game, knowing that whatever result, we're going to come out of it winners.
Yeah, I mean, today's game, I mean, I've not spoken to a United fan who isn't excited about it, and I do remember probably back in the Sir Alex days when we used to be very, very consistent. Man United v Crystal Palace at home. I wouldn't say you'd miss it, but you'd be like, that's a formality. What's the excitement? But we're all excited at the moment. We've all endured the last 4 years, but these are exciting weekends for that reason you've just said there. Because if we win this, well, I think if we draw this game today, there'll be quite rightly some real frustration amongst United fans, because you've got to win these sort of games. But the brilliance of these sort of games are that we get this game done, but then you look at Chelsea City and you think that if we've won at 5 o'clock, we sit back, we have another beer, another cup of tea, whatever it is you drink, and you just think
another Guinness.
This game can't get any better for us. No matter what, both teams or one of them are going to drop points on us. And I know where my preference is, but I'm not going to get greedy at the moment because United have got to do the business. But it will be a nice situation to get these 3 points done and then be in that comfortable position of watching those two go head to head and knowing whatever happens, they're going to lose ground on us.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the Jose Mourinho effect as well that gives us this excitement, because remember 2 seasons ago under Van Gaal, and it'd be United at home versus Burnley, and you'd be head in hands before the game. You'd be head in hands at the team lineup knowing we weren't going to win the game with Van Gaal, and it's only taken 2 seasons, and the change has been dramatic and phenomenal, and that's where the confidence comes from. It's the way the team are playing, and it's our manager, because he's the one that's got our team playing like this, and he deserves so much credit. And I think he's starting to get it, not from United fans, we already know that, but from other pundits who tend to not Jose the credit he deserves, because to win the trophies we won last season, building a team, and then regardless of where we finish, the team he's built this season is brilliant, and it's the best United team we've had. And I'm going to say it, even in the latter years of the Fergie era, we still didn't have a team as good as this. Fergie's managerial style was just unbelievable. You there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I was just trying to talk to my oldest, who was walking behind me, in front of me.
Oh, sorry,
I'm just going to read the Crystal Palace team out, because somebody did just say, what is the Palace team? And maybe that arrogance that we all want to come back was evident there, because I just didn't even give Crystal Palace a second thought. I know Benteke's out. I know Fosu Mensah can't play. And I know Zaha is out as well. So that's three of their best players, really. We knew Fosu Mensah couldn't play, but Zaha and Benteke are, Zaha's always got an added incentive against United as well, so it's good that he's not playing. And Benteke is their best striker. So their team is Hennessy, Ward, Sacco, Delaney, Van Aanholt, Milosevic, Cabaye, Townsend, Punchin, Schlupp, Sacco. I'm sorry, that team, that they shouldn't be walking away with anything else other than a very sore arse. And I mean a slapped arse, nothing sinister, from Old Trafford today. I think that one through before you say it. I was going to say slapped arse, and then I said sore. I don't know what I'm on about there. We're not going to do anything like that. Don't worry, Crystal Palace fans. We're not into all that. But you know what I mean. That team should not worry us at all. I mean, anything can happen in football. We know that, but we should be tearing them apart. And I do think, as I said before, Juan Mata is very important. Didn't play midweek. Mr. Consistent. He might not score a goal, but over like that 70 minutes he normally plays, he always wants the ball. It's always ticking over, and I think he's very important today. But no concerns about that Palace team. They are missing 3 good players. I'm
really pleased you mentioned Juan Mata, actually, because he's gone really under the radar this season. If he hadn't have played a minute, I don't think we'd have all been going, oh, what's happened to Juan Mata? You'd have kind of expected it. But the fact that he's forced his way into this Jose Mourinho team is a testament to himself as well. And I think his performances have been Juan Mata-esque, which is just consistent, rarely loses the ball, always in space, creates chances. And to me, he's kind of the anti-Mkhitaryan, because Mkhitaryan always loses the ball, but he does end up creating a chance. But Mata so rarely loses the ball. And I think that's the Van Gaal coaching style that's still in him, because he would rather sometimes play a sideways pass and play forwards, which he still needs to improve on, but he's so good for ball retention. He's so good at creating spaces. And when you've got the luxury of the man Matic in midfield, and you can afford to have another creative man on the pitch, I think Juan Mata is the perfect player. And I would like to see, when we do revert back to this 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it, I'd actually like to see Juan Mata tried in that position over Mkhitaryan, because I still think it's his best position. And he gets forced out wide when he plays, and it's like Mkhitaryan playing out on the right. It just doesn't suit his style, but he hasn't been given that opportunity yet, but I think he will at some point.
Yeah, I'd agree. Loftus-Cheek for Crystal Palace isn't in the squad either, so I presume he's injured. He apparently is quite a decent player for them. But yeah, I do agree. I do totally agree about what you said about Mata. I spoke about him in the summer, and I don't think. I mean, I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about it just while I blur on, but I don't think there's been a more consistent player for Manchester United in Jose Mourinho's reign than Juan Mata. I'm not saying he's been the best, but I don't think there's been a more consistent player. And what impressed me the most about Mata last season was how we had that very important period in April. We lost Mata and a couple of others, Jones and Smalling, and Mata got himself back in no time. He could have gone, right, I'm on the beach now, I've done my growing, that's me for 8 weeks, end of my season, but no chance. He got himself back in super fast time, and I think he just gets what United's all about, and he is so consistent. And yeah, I don't think there is a player that's been more consistent than him under Mourinho. The only 2 I can think of, Ross, are probably, well, Herrera, but obviously this season that's ended, De Gea, last season he was a bit up and down, couldn't, got rested a lot, didn't play in the Europa League. Bay's had his up and downs. Zlatan was good, then he got injured. I think everybody else you could think of has either got injured or had a bad patch.
I think the biggest rival to him, I think you're right, it is Mata, but I think the biggest rival is Valencia as an outfield player because he has been consistent. But I'm pleased you mentioned that injury thing because I think that's Juan Mata knowing the coach that is Jose Mourinho, and I think that's the reason why he's still here because that returning to injury while potentially still being injured thing for Jose Mourinho is the best thing you could do to show your commitment to not just the club and the squad, but him as a manager. And all the other players should be looking at that. And I think they have. I think the Phil Joneses and the Smallings have looked at that and gone, right, that's what you need to do to get into this team. And a lot of people criticised Jose when he was calling players out, but it just goes to show you that you show a little bit of grit and determination and you will be rewarded. And I would love to see Mata rewarded with a 90 minutes at some point because I don't think he's played 90 minutes under Jose yet. No,
I think you're right. And let's just dwell on that for a moment. Mourinho does have his I was going to say issues. He does do things that some of us wouldn't agree with. I mean, I personally would have played Martial today, and I would have played Herrera today. Although I can understand why Herrera's not playing and Fellaini is. I think tactically it's not a bad move, but I would have played Martial. But I like Mkhitaryan. I think he was better on Wednesday night, but he needed to be better. There was so much space in that number 10 position. It was like almost impossible for him to fail. He's got such talent either in front of him with Martial and Lukaku. He's got Matic and Herrera behind him who just broke everything up and fed him. And he had so much space. It would have been impossible for him to have a bad game. He's got to do it today. The bus will be parked. There won't be a lot of space. And a lot of United fans question Mkhitaryan and that first 70 minutes of games. And I think it's such a weird thing with Mourinho because this time last year we were like, oh, he's ignoring Mkhitaryan, he's fantastic. And this year we're like, yeah, Mkhitaryan's got good stats, but he's bad in the first hour. I personally think Mata would be a dream fit in that position at the moment. But he does a good job out wide. I still just throw it in there. I know we spoke it a while ago. The man who's wearing the number 10 shirt is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I cannot see when he's back fit he's going to be on the bench. He cannot dislodge Lukaku. Even as much as Mourinho loves Zlatan, he isn't stupid, and he knows if he puts Zlatan in Lukaku's position, we lose. The opposition will just step forward 20 yards straight away and compacts the midfield. So he isn't going to drop in for Lukaku. I don't think you can play him as a front two. I just see Zlatan coming in for Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, no, you've said it a few times actually, and you were the first person to say it to me, and me actually go, oh, actually, I hadn't actually thought of that. And I think you're right, and Zlatan's got the talent. I think Zlatan could be a fantastic number 10, and the difference is between him and Mkhitaryan and Mata, and most number 10s in world football, is that when he gets in the box, aerial, on the floor, he'll just be a dominator. And that's what number 10s struggle with. But the criticism will be his running and his creating the space, because he was very static as a striker, and he'll have to work more. But you're absolutely right. There's no way. There was a rumour that he took a huge pay cut. I don't know if that rumour is true or not. I'm sure it would have been supplemented with a huge signing on bonus anyway. But yeah, there's no way he's coming to play second fiddle in potentially his last season that he can play competitive football, because he is running out of years. He's back to win trophies, and he's not back to win a trophy by sitting on the bench like Rooney did last season. He's back to help United win trophies.
Yeah, definitely. If you're new to the United Stand, I know we always get a few people new on the watch-alongs. We're on 138,700 subscribers. It would be great to hit 139,000 before the international break. So make sure you click that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. It's the little hologram. And get involved. We've got a fantastic community. Some really exciting stuff going up on the channel tonight, hopefully, with the fan cams. And Skype Goldbridge will happen on Monday night, Sunday Night Live tomorrow with me and Ross, and hopefully Flex will join us again. So lots going involved. And also, as much as Ross has been drinking the Guinness this year, and United have been doing really well, we've been getting 1,000 likes on the video before kickoff, and United have been winning the game. So no 1,000 likes, Crystal Palace and Hodgson will be getting a stiffy. So make sure you click that like button and let's get to 1,000 likes before the game. Call it superstition, I call it fact. Were you trying to jump in there, Ross?
No, I wasn't, mate. Sorry.
I
did find it funny that you're mentioning Stiffy again after your sore ass comment earlier.
Oh, Stiffy and sore asses. Who'd have thought, eh? Can we play 4-1-3-2 when Zlatan comes back like City, says Mike Greer? I mean, I did push over that a little bit, Ross. There's something about Lukaku and Zlatan up front as a front two I just really don't like. I think it's a waste. I don't like it. You were speaking about Martial and Lukaku, and I think you get so much out of that because they're both quick, but Martial's so skillful, Lukaku's very powerful. I think they complement each other as a front two very well. Zlatan and Lukaku, I don't see them complementing each other. Apart from being two big bullies up front, I don't see the complementary aspect of their two games at all. Maybe I'm missing something.
No, you're right. Zlatan has to be fed. He rarely feeds. I know he got a few assists last season, but that's not his strong point. And you're right. With like what I was seeing with Lukaku and Martial is when one of them had the ball, the other one triggered, and they were running knowing that they were going to get it back, and they were both doing it, and it works. Where you're right. You wouldn't see the same energy because he hasn't got it in him. It's not his fault. That if Lukaku picked up the ball, I wouldn't see Zlatan running all around trying to create space. That's not his game. Again, that number 10 position could be okay. It's an odd one. I think games like today, Zlatan, yes, you go, yeah, all day. Because we can afford it. It's the games where we can afford to have an extra man that's not really doing anything apart from supporting the attack. Against the Liverpools, the Cities, high-end Champions League games, you have to stick with what we got. And I can't see Zlatan in the first 11.
No, me neither. What was I going to say? Something just popped into my head there. It was a really good question. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you anyway. I'm going to do a FIFA 18 stream tonight on That's Football because the wife's gone out. I've only just found out she's going out tonight, and I was like, "What?" So I'm going to continue my FIFA career. I'm on episode 3 tonight at about 8 o'clock, and I'm going to probably do it for about 3 hours and just drink and do FIFA. So join me on That's Football. I'll be live at 8 o'clock. What's your honest thoughts on FIFA 18, everybody? I know to some people I'm going to isolate some people here, but I'm getting very close to just... And I don't want to because everything in my body wants to like it, but I'm getting very perilously close to just thinking this is rubbish.
It's properly rubbish at the minute. And I've heard rumours that they're going to release an update to kind of sort out the AI of the defenders that you are not controlling, because the defenders that you are not controlling play like they're about 10 years old. They have no clue what's going on. I think the corners don't really work anymore, and it's
so
poor.
Good at corners.
I play online, and basically every game ends 6-5, 6-5, and that just goes to show you where the game's at. You just cannot defend. And a lot of people have been messaging me saying, "Oh, it's because you're not defending right." It's not me. It's not the players that I'm controlling. It's the other bastards that are just running around like headless chickens. And there was one point, Mark, I just have to say it, and I can't believe it happened. I had 4 defenders in a line, and I was playing against Aguero, and he ran 3 metres offside, and I thought, nice, I'll leave him there. And I had Phil Jones in defence, and he was running back to play him onside, and I was button bashing to go, no, stop running back. And I couldn't, and as soon as he ran back and played him offside, he just played the through ball. And I was like, how can a defender in modern day football do that? It just didn't make sense.
No, I'm going to have a go tonight and we'll see how it goes. But I used to be very good at defending and corners, and then they're 2 massive things they've changed. And the defending for me is like, if they're in the penalty box, just put your controller down, because they turn like Fellaini. They're just so slow. When they stop running, they almost run into the crowd. It's the turning speed of a biscuit wheel lorry. And you try and just do a circle and give a penalty. It's very difficult. But I'm going to keep on with it. But I preferred last year, FIFA 17 more. We're 20 minutes to kick off, so I'm presuming you're going to have to get off in a minute, Ross. But what about any concerns? Some people are saying, are we all been a bit overconfident? Any concerns that we could mess up today?
Yes, always. And especially with Jones and Smalling at centre-back. I think they're great, but they both have got a mistake in them. And we've got 2 very high wing-backs. So Matic is the key player again today. But this record of Palace not scoring that's the one that worries me. I didn't want to say it earlier, but I'm going to say it because it's the sort of bloody record that United always break for other teams, and it's so frustrating. So I hope that we can just keep that Palace record going and from them not scoring this season. But yeah, that's the only thing talent-wise that they've got absolutely nothing. And I've only just found out that Benteke's not playing, so their only glimmer of hope is gone as well.
Yeah, so there's no Loftus-Cheek, there's no Zaha, there's no Fosu Mensah, there's no Benteke. They haven't scored all season. They're bottom of the league. We've got the best defence in the league. We can't stop scoring at Old Trafford. You just know it's going to be 1-1. But no, there shouldn't be a problem today. A lot of people are saying they're worried about the static midfield. I don't think Fellaini's going to be a problem like he was. I'll be honest, we lost the midfield against Southampton last week. We did. We were overrun and we were very static. But that's against the team that's attacking us. They won't attack us today, so Fellaini will just hopefully spend a lot of time in the final third. Matic will hold the midfield. Jones or Smalling will step into the midfield with him because they won't have anything up front. Young and Valencia will get really far down the flanks, and I think we'll just have a lot of men around the box. I think the people who might struggle today, Mkhitaryan and Mata, are going to be very important, but they're not going to get a lot of space. I can see goals from crosses again. We got Lukaku and Fellaini on the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. And it might be a game that if we are struggling to break them down and the crossing isn't working, I think a natural sub may be Fellaini for Lingard because although he gets a lot of stick, his movement is fantastic. His end product's terrible, but he can unsettle a defence. So we might see Jesse Lingard today, hopefully. Okay, Ross, do you want to come on at half-time? Yes, I'll come on at half-time today, mate.
Okay, mate. Well, we'll see you at half-time. Hopefully we'll have the game done and dusted by then. You can follow Ross on Twitter at Hazza90. He's on regularly on a Sunday night and for team news and half-time. So thanks for coming on, pal.
So I'm going to pour a Guinness and I'll speak to you at half-time. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, pal. You can't beat a bit of Guinness. I'm liking this Guinness thing as well. Hopefully it's going to continue and we'll keep winning. We've got a couple of superstitions going on in the United stand at the moment. 1,000 likes before kickoff. I don't think we're going to do it in 19 minutes. We've got 1,800 people watching. Click that like button. We're on 609. We need 1,000. And also Ross's Guinness. It's all working well at the moment. And just think, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be playing. Well, it'll be game over at Anfield against Liverpool. That's a massive one. A fortnight today. International break coming. Check the comments on the most recent FIFA episode for lineup suggestions. Hopefully they'll work for you. You'll get used to it soon. That's from Matthew McFadden, who's made a contribution through the super chat. Thank you, Matthew. Well, we'll try some of that out tonight on That's Football, 8 o'clock. I'll be live doing a FIFA 18 stream, 8 o'clock if you like that. Join me for a beer. I'm going to be live for about 3 hours, so it could go terribly wrong if I can't get a win. We'll also be doing on That's Football Chelsea versus Man City live stream watch along as well. That'll be from 5:30 later on today. So lots to get involved with. Vincent O'Hara is very frustrated with the team selection. Gotta say I am as well. Some people can call that negativity if they like. I'm not. The Herrera one disappointed me. I don't want to see Fellaini starting, to be honest, but I can sort of see why. So yeah, I can see that. The Martial one's the one. I mean, why is Martial not starting this game? If somebody could tell me that, please. I'm stunned by that. But we should have enough to win today, and that's the most important thing. I don't, formations, whatever, they're fantastic, but I want us to win this game today like all United fans do, and we need to win this game today. So let's get it done. One of my favourite bits of the watch along now, and hardcore people will know what it is. Remember to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, but it's all about you, community, and I want to know where you're watching from and what time it is. Come on, get commented in the live comments because I love this time of the show. This is the kind of game we should have thrown a youth player into the team, says Christopher Loucher. Fair point. I don't agree with it, but fair point. I think we've just got to win. Got to win. Martial should ask for a transfer, says Dylan. Look, to be honest with you, I'm quite relaxed about the Martial position because Mourinho can ignore him as much as he wants, but he can't ignore him. We as fans know he's potentially one of the best players in the world, and he's at Manchester United. He needs to play football matches. Maybe he has got a little bit of a knock. Maybe he is carrying a bit of a knock, and Mourinho doesn't want to start him for that reason. So we might find out a little bit more later. Okay, let's have a look. Let me have a little scan. So we've got Portugal. We haven't had a Portugal for a while. That's Kodak Cloud Jr. In India, it's 7:15 at night, Sports HQ says. So I get why a lot of people in India and across that part of the world probably like 3 o'clock in the afternoon kickoffs. I don't mind them, to be honest. I don't mind the 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, actually. It's a bit of a blast from my childhood. Soccer fans watching from Wakefield, Norway for Vidar. It's 2:45 in Ireland, says Nicholas. Funnily enough, that's the same here. It's 12 AM for Australians. So that must be midnight then. Dalraj is watching from England. Thomas Vids is watching from Scotland. Najib Khan, Canada. Romania for Brian Morton. Bangladesh for MD Khaled. Bermuda, and it's 10:45 AM, says Jeremy Lambert. A morning kickoff. Trevor Evans is also enjoying a morning kickoff. It's 8:45 AM in Minnesota, and it's 8:44 AM in Missouri. Says Victor Aqua. And Leo Abraham is in London, 8:45 AM in Jamaica, says Chev Firen. And Luca says it's 12 AM in Australia. Liverpool, Florida, Singapore, Poland, Indonesia, Rochdale, Barbados, Canada, Venezuela, Southwest England, Barnsley, Jamaica, Germany, Sweden. The reason I do that is for twofold, really. One, because I'm nosy. And two, it really does reiterate to you, the viewer, and me, the presenter, just how wide Manchester United support is. It's a global club, and we've got people all around the world, all around the 24-hour clock, tuning in to watch Manchester United play. And I never fail to be humbled and amazed and stunned by the loyalty that this fantastic club generates. And you are part of the United Stand Club as well, don't forget that. We've got a fantastic community. And Lisburn's in the Grand Hotel in Malahide. Yeah, you're not, because the Wi-Fi is rubbish. I've been there. But it's nice. And yeah, so thanks everyone for letting me know where you're watching. I read more in my mind than I do read out. But yeah, we've got a fantastic community on the United Stand. Make sure you subscribe to it, bottom right hand corner. Drop us a like. We've still got 14 minutes and we only need another 180 likes. So make sure you like the video. That superstitious 1,000 likes before kickoff needs to kick in. And do subscribe if you're new. If you have found us today because it's a watch along, we've got a fantastic community. We're live every weeknight at 8 o'clock and Sunday night at 8 o'clock. We've got watch-alongs, previews, Skype shows where you Skype in twice a week. Loads and loads of stuff going on the channel. So make sure you get involved. And when you have subscribed, or if you are a subscriber, make sure you've clicked the bell and turned on to get all notifications. Because tonight is a big step forward for the United Stand. We've got fan cams coming up from Old Trafford for the first time ever on this show. Tonight, they'll be going up from about 6 o'clock. So watch along with me, match reaction with me, little break, and then hopefully throughout the evening we're going to have fan cams from outside Old Trafford going up on the United Stand for the first time ever. I haven't seen them, I don't know who it's going to be. If you're at the ground today at Old Trafford, go and seek us out. We will be tweeting out and I'll be letting you know where we are as well once I know where we're set up, because obviously I'm not there. Yeah. Very excited to do that. And another big step forward for the channel, because yet again it's more United fans having their voice heard. We do the Skype shows where you Skype in from anywhere in the world, and now we're going to have some fans at the ground giving their thoughts as well. You can't get more demographic than that. It's 9:46 AM in Trinidad. Danny Rodriguez says Mark needs more recognition for all his hard work. I don't want any recognition. That's not how it works. It's our channel, the United Stand, and as I've said to you so many times, I don't. It's nothing without you. I could be sat here doing a pre-record and it means nothing. It's nothing without you lot. Professor FC says my foot record is currently 18 wins, no draws, no losses. So somebody's liking FIFA 18. Jack Brown, at the end of the day, why is it going to get nasty? We're not interested in what anybody else does. What we're actually doing is giving United fans more opportunity to have their voice heard and be on a football channel talking about the club they love. You could have 50 Manchester United fan channels outside Old Trafford, and that would just mean 50 times more fans are going to get their voice on. You know, I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the problem is. AR Rocher says, I hope Man City drop points today. To be honest with you, that's probably the one. City are the more of a threat than Chelsea, I think. And the draw's got to be the result we all want. It's the most common sense one. Who would I rather win if one of them's got to win? Probably Chelsea. Probably Chelsea. Because then Chelsea are the home team. Hopefully when they go to the Etihad, they'll lose there. So it balances itself out. I think I need to drop down to professional mode for a couple of games tonight, Dan. We'll see what happens. Anyway, lots to get involved with is what I'm trying to say. We've got the watch along now through till kickoff, through till full time. Then I'm going to do my match reaction. Then we're going to have fan cams coming up on the United stand throughout the evening. And at 8 o'clock on That's Football, you've got me doing a 3-hour FIFA 18 stream if that's your bag. Or you can go onto That's Football at 5:30 and watch the watch along for Man City versus Chelsea. It's a day of football and it's a big day for Manchester United. Oh. Hello.
How you doing, Mark?
Alright.
Have you sent logins and stuff?
Yeah, I've sent them, pal, yeah.
What, do you for Arsenal Fan TV?
Oh no, do you want them to go there, do you? I've texted them.
Oh, you texted them to me?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. No problem. I'll have a look.
Alright, mate.
Yeah, I know. Well, good luck.
Okay, pal.
Good luck.
Alright.
It should be good. I think the boys did a good job here. I think they'll do a good job today.
Okay, I'm live at the moment, mate, so I better go.
Alright, mate. Take care.
Cheers, pal. Bye-bye. Nothing wrong with taking a phone call when you're live, is there? Business call, says Marksman. We are 52 likes short of 1,000 with 10 minutes to go. And that George Carl, you're very right about the ringtone. It is bloody ridiculous. It is so loud, and I need to sort it out. Zazu A says he's watching in North Korea and it's 22:20. Be careful, mate. Your owner, he's got spies everywhere and they'll be tracking you down now. Have we got Flex in on the live comments? I saw something there. I haven't seen him on the live comments. Lucas says, are the fan cams going to be live? Not, I wouldn't have thought so. Not from Old Trafford. Be very hard to do that. Shrinder says, how you been? Hey Mark, how you been? I've been all right, mate. I've been all right. And City without Mendy and Aguero is lucky for us, though. It's all going off. Marcus, Skype me if you're watching, because I really would love to have a wee before this game kicks off. Jeff Doughty says Perisic has looked terrific this season. Jeff. What have I said all summer? I said if we'd signed, I know I got it wrong about Matic, but a lot of people didn't want Perisic, and I really wish we'd signed him because everyone would have gone, oh, you were so right about him. He would have been bloody brilliant for us. It's never going to happen now. We messed it up, and but he would have been sensational for us. I'm not saying he would have played every game, but what he would have brought to the team. He would have been so good, and Mourinho wanted him, and Mourinho had scouted him, and he would have been absolutely fantastic. But at the end of the day, it didn't happen. We've got to move on. But it doesn't surprise me he's doing great things because he is a very, very, very good player. A very good player. Is there anybody good playing at 3 o'clock today? Apart from Manchester United, is there anybody good playing in the Premier League? West Brom, Watford, West Ham, Swansea. I think we'll say no to that. Big no, I think. Here he is, Marcus.
Oh, mate, you're right.
I'm good, thanks. I don't know why it sort of jumped up on me, this need to go to the toilet. Excitement maybe. But give us your thoughts on the team, especially in relation to your best mate Fellaini starting. No Bailly, no Martial, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, fine.
Cheers, pal. You've rescued me.
So my thoughts on the team. I agree with Ross. I think it's a semi-decent team. It should have more than enough to beat Crystal Palace. More than enough. But I'm going to go with a 4-1 score prediction. And I think that Crystal Palace will score purely because we have Lauren and Hardy as our centre-backs. So that's what I think with that. Let's get some comments. Chad says hi, hello. AJ Nell, Phil Jones on fire. Your attack is terrified. Damien Gayson says the chair. Yep, the chair's there. Let's have a look. Dying sarcasm. 1,000 likes. We're gonna win. Yep, superstitious. Kishin, Mark's got a P. Yep. Mickey, Premier League assist king. Am I banned? No, you're not, mate. No. Iris XD wants a shout out. There you go. Oh, what's that? What name's that? Srinidhi? Hello? Yes, George. Oh, yeah. Jonathan Royston Ford, market score prediction. Yeah, as I said, I think 4-1. And I think Crystal Palace will score because of Smalling and Jones as centre-backs. I don't trust them, and I think it's probably a bit of a downfall not having Bay starting in there. Damien Gayson, Marcus, how is your mum going? Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. She's over a cold now. I've got it now. Tajron Roche, big up Jamaica. Matthew, the Mad Mark shows here, yeah. Otter, Marx is great. Lukaku hat-trick. Yeah, do you know what? I was worried about the rumours that Lukaku wasn't going to start because he's carrying a knock. But thankfully, he's starting. And seeing as we're going into the international break, it'll be pretty good. Swagger the man. Marcus, how often do you go to games? Not very much now because of family and kids and restraints, but I used to when I was younger. It's JRX. What's your thoughts on Martial? I think he's got to wait for his time.
He can't wait any longer. He was fantastic the other day.
I was just going to say, he was good the other day. I do think he should have started this. But I can see why he's gone for Rashford tracking back. So, you finished?
Yeah, I'm just listening to you now.
Yeah. Oh, key player today from Chad. I think key player today is going to be Matic, because I think that if and when Crystal Palace will break, and they will, because they're going to come up and set up defensively, they'll park the bus. I think it's going to be a very big job for Matic, because I think a lot of our players will be literally camped out in their half. So Matic for me will be the key player. Mark, did I hear right? You're doing a 3-hour stream on FIFA later?
Yeah, it's breaking news in a sense, because I didn't realise the missus was going out tonight. So I was like, what shall I do? And I think I need to put the hard yards into my FIFA 18 career, or I'm going to get relegated. So I thought 3-hour stream, 8 o'clock tonight. That's football. That's my Saturday evening.
Okay, all right, fair enough. You getting any beers in or anything?
I think I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your score prediction, Mark. I know you said 2-0 yesterday, was it? Have you changed your mind?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Stick with that. I think, to be honest with you, as long as we win, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, look. If we win more than 2-0, I'm happy. If we don't, if we just win 2-0, I'm still happy. So I just think Crystal Palace are not going to show any attacking intent in this game at all, and they're just going to try and play for a draw. And I think that might frustrate us, and we might just need to be a little bit patient.
I know someone's just mentioned in the comments there that Crystal Palace haven't scored a goal, but it would be just United's luck and Jose's luck that they get their first goal at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it would be typical, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And seeing as we've got Smalling and Jones in centre backs, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Oh dear. So teams are just coming out. Well, they're out on the pitch, ready, doing the handshakes.
Oi, oi. Savaloy. Hello. Marcus, can you just talk for a minute? I'll take this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, go on.
Right, Mark and Marcus, who's the better in FIFA 18 between the two of you? Don't know yet. We've not played each other yet, but I've got to say, I'm getting used to it. I'm pretty good. I'm not having as much difficulty as Mark on is it World Class he's playing on? He's got to drop down to professional. But I am doing the daily objectives and the weekly objectives. So I want to build my team up for the ultimate team. Let's have a look. Who me says we will win 13-0. Lukaku scoring 9, Martial 3, and Smalling a header. Never heard that one so far. Otter says banter is funny. We need more of it. I do try. Yeah. Let's have a look. Liz Brian says who's he talking to? Not sure. Liz Brian says hi Marcus. Hello. It's JRX. Marcus, what console do you play on? I play on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the PC.
We're about to kick off with the game. I was just literally talking to Flex there about the fan cams. I'm sure anybody who's actually at the game probably isn't watching the United stand at the moment, and I can tweet it out, but the game has kicked off. We will be filming the fan cams outside Old Trafford after the game, the bridge by the Megastore next to Hotel Football, for anybody who wants to get down there for, you know, straight after the game at 5 o'clock. So that's where we're going to be, but we'll be tweeting that out. Fan cams going up on the channel tonight. Very, very exciting, Marcus.
Yes, it is. Fantastic achievement for the United stand, and
all right, I'm
great
an Oscar.
idea. Oh, I was just going to say, great idea for you to do it.
No, it's not. It's not my. I've got to be totally honest. It's not my idea. I've always been dead against it, if I'm totally honest. But yeah. No, we've been convinced to do it, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, to be honest, maybe it was wrong not to have done it for so long, because the reality is it gets more United fans on the channel having their say. So yeah, but we're off. We're up and running. I've got the timer up.
We go.
And the game is on, and the fan cams are for a little bit later on. My timer is wrong. I need to change that. We're a lot further ahead than that. 5. So United start the game off, and as predicted, United having lots and lots of possession. I think we'll see a lot of that today, Marcus.
I do. I think it's. I've said 4-1, but I do think that we're going to have to be patient. I can't see Crystal Palace coming at us and wanting to attack us all the time. So patience is going to be the key. Possession is key. Make the ball do the work the spaces, and hopefully we get a few in today.
Why Fellaini and no Ander Herrera? I just saw something on the live comments there. Yeah, I agree. But to be honest with you, I think Herrera should have started today. He does deserve to start. But I think from a tactical point of view, although Fellaini, watching him, he's got to get into the final third. That's why he's playing for me, because Crystal Palace will park the bus. And if Fellaini can get away from the midfield into the final third, we can get some crosses in, then obviously he offers something that Herrera doesn't.
Yeah, he does. On a different note, I'm actually quite glad that Ashley Young's kept his place on the left-hand side as well. I really thought he would have gone for Blind. Just to give him a bit of game time.
1-0 to Manchester United. Fantastic bit of player. And we were talking about Mata. But it's Rashford who makes it. Great skill by Rashford. Skins his man, cuts it back. Mata just in his path, sends it home. 1-0 straight away. And that's probably game over, because they can't score for Toffee.
I wouldn't be so quick to judge, mate, but a fantastic start for United. Great ball, Rashford.
Tell you what, so pleased for Mata though. Me and Ross were talking about him. I don't know whether you heard us saying Mr. Consistent in his time at Manchester United for Mourinho, and deserves a goal because he's been so good for so long. And great bit of skill by Rashford. Absolutely sent the right back to baby school there. And Mata's there just to tap it home very simply. And that's the great thing, Marcus, is that is game plan gone for Crystal Palace now. If they were going to park the bus today, they're going to have to shift it and try something new, because 1-0 will do us. Fantastic. I just love the fact that we're now scoring early goals as well.
Well, this is it. They've got to come out and play now, so the game plan is out the windows. So they've got two options: either come out and go for it, or it's damage control, damage limitation, and just try not to get it into double figures.
Exactly. Fantastic start by United. I mean, it was a great bit of skill by Rashford, and the funny thing is, I was going to say as part of the sort of the game as to Rashford needs to have a better game today. Been off in the last couple. He certainly started off very well there. Lovely bit of skill, and the cutback was just simple. Well, a very good cutback, but it was very simple for Mata. Right in his stride to walk into, put it away. United 1-0 up, and well, might be a cricket score at this rate, says Peter Doyle. For me, the most important thing, Peter and everybody else, is that Crystal Palace would try and frustrate us today. You could have envisaged the situation, a couple of missed chances, 70 minutes, still 0-0, and we get a little bit nervous. It's gone. That nervousness is gone now. We've got the early goal, and we can relax into the game, hopefully get the second goal soon after, and kill it.
Yeah, hopefully. I do reckon, I mean, after the fast start that we've obviously just had, I do think it's going to be 4 or more. We went for... nice bit of play there, but we went for 3-3, I think, against Moscow.
Yeah.
We got 4 out there, so I mean, Crystal Palace, they are absolute trash at the minute. League table, don't lie, but there is always that if of a mistake from our centre backs. They can score, and they'll get a bit of luck sometimes throughout the season.
I tell you what's quite telling though. I mean, we spoke about Palace not having Benteke, Zaha or Loftus-Cheek. They never could have had Fosu Mensah because he couldn't have played today, but he has been playing sort of right-sided. I don't think Rashford would have done to Fosu Mensah what he did to Ward there, and that's a real weak spot for Crystal Palace. Some cracking lines coming up. I mean, send some more in. We've had Fresh King SG says Rashford sent Ward skating to the Championship. Marshall Baller says Rashford sent him for a hot dog. I like these sent him lines, so send us a few more of those in. I'm going to have a quick look at this, but it's been a good start by United, and Crystal Palace. It's a bit like when you're playing fighting a heavyweight, isn't it? And you hope that you can just sort of get your defence up and go through a few rounds and building confidence. They've took a heavy hit in the first round, and they're a bit loose on their feet at the moment.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's got to be in the minds of the players as well that if providing we win the game, it'll put the pressure on City and Chelsea. None of them will want to lose the game later on. So hopefully that'll make for a good game as well. And going into the international break, top of the table, or joint top of the table with City win, will be good for the confidence. So
we're level points with Chelsea, with City anyway. But they've got a 4-goal better goal difference than us. So I mean, I was never going to be greedy about today and start saying, "Oh, let's win 5 or 6-0." It'd be nice to do that. For me, United are still very much in that situation of building. We've had 4 years of ineffectiveness, really. I'm just happy that we're top of the league. Good chance for Palace there from Sacco. Just put it over the bar. We've got to be careful. But we are, if we could beat them 4 or 5-0, great. But I'll just be happy to win and be joint top. The goal difference doesn't worry me too much at the moment. But yeah, 4 goals better off than us. But of course, City playing Chelsea, I wouldn't expect them to blast Chelsea. So if we could win,
no, I was just going to say that. Yeah, I was just going to say if we get a good few goals today, and let's just say City and Chelsea finish 0-0, it's good for us in terms of the goal difference.
Definitely, it definitely is. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what can happen. But yeah, fantastic.
Oh, we got 139,000 subscribers.
Oh, well done, everybody. That's great. Yeah. Should we go for 140? I think that's probably a bit out of our reach for today, but closing in on it.
Vivek Potes wants to know how the goal was. He missed it. Do you want to explain?
You what?
Vivek Potes missed the goal.
Missed the goal.
Was.
Well, basically,
Yeah,
I think Ward's just getting a nappy on at the moment because Rashford sent him back to play school, and then he just runs towards the box, cuts it back very well. It's a very congested box, cuts it back, and it's just into the path of Mata to basically pass it home. Looks a very simplistic goal, but actually it's just a very well worked goal. And Lukaku again down the left here. Another cross comes in, and Palace having to clear it. Pineapple shirt, please, says Fortune. I have still got it. And Jay says Mark's chair is reminiscent of Danger Mouse. Baron Greenback, is that me? Is it?
That's going back some years. That is.
It is. It is.
Danger Mouse. Yeah. So we started quite well. This is the problem, that we don't push too many men forward and get caught on the counter.
We had somebody make a super chat comment yesterday called Marouane Fellaini, and some people are still convinced it was the real Fellaini. I don't think it was.
So you don't think it was then?
No, I don't. What's the score? Are you having a laugh, Del Boy? Look in the top right hand corner. You've got the score and the score. 1-0 to United.
So Martial on the benchmark. What? Again.
Yeah, Jack Ross is just on about that. I mean, what do people want me to say about that? Martial should be starting today. I mean, Rashford's played very well. It's great to have Martial and Rashford in the same team because they push each other on to different levels. I mean, Rashford started this game very well. Just a shot over the bar from Matic there. It would have been another assist for Rashford. Martial should start the game. I've got to be honest with you. Martial should start this game today. He was absolutely sensational. But I don't get too concerned about it because, even if Mourinho has got it in for Martial, which I don't believe he has, even if he is ignoring him because he prefers Rashford, maybe he does prefer Rashford because of his defensive stuff. But Martial's a better player and he can't keep ignoring him. He can't do it. So he'll force his way in at some point. And let's not forget, maybe Martial was going to start the game today. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was always going to start Rashford today and Martial was going to play the full game against Moscow. But he came off with a knock. De Gea's just played a silly pass there to Palace.
Yeah, and, very risky.
United are going to get it clear anyway. That's fine. But Martial will force his way into the team at some point, or he'll force himself out of the club because he's too good to be on the bench.
Joe, that's a good point. Someone's just put that in the comments there. Elamino 82002. Martial looked slightly injured last game. He did. I totally forgot about that.
Maybe it's just, it was only 2.5 days ago. If he's got a bit of a knock and he's a bit sore, Crystal Palace are obviously going to be a physical team. Richie CR's made a contribution. He says, Mark, I do think we should take the chance to improve goal difference. We won't be able to do it against the better teams. Yeah. I think now we've got the early goal, Richie, and I think that was always the thing, wasn't it? Now we've got the early goal. If it's 2 or 3-0, hopefully, with 60 minutes gone, I think I would just get Martial and Lingard on and really fill the box up and try and just get a few goals in. I'd be surprised if Mourinho doesn't do the same as well. But it's all about what we can do in this first half, really.
Yeah, I mean, so far, apart from the Palace free kick from our right-hand side, they've not really done anything. Oh, the risky pass by De Gea. But, first, 12 minutes, we've been pretty comfortable. We've started fast. We've got control of the game, which we should expect playing at Old Trafford. I mean, it's quite a positive performance so far. Hopefully the concentration don't lapse and we let something slip in.
There's a few people in the comments going on that I don't know we're winning. I 100% do know we're winning because I saw it and I've changed the score. We're 1-0 up. We're talking about goal difference, not whether United are winning. I think United have probably got this game won, to be honest. But you never know in football, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Max Roberts makes the... we spoke about this in the hour before the game, didn't we? Phil Jones playing this game, even though Mourinho told everybody he was injured yesterday. So I wouldn't trust what he's got to say about Pogba because I wouldn't say he's lied. He's been elaborate with the truth because Phil Jones wasn't meant to play this game. Nice little bit of play there from Matic, and we really need Pogba back soon. He boosts us a lot, says Football Eclipse. Well, we're not doing badly without Pogba at the moment, are we, Marcus?
No, not to sound disrespectful to him, but we don't really need him for these sort of games. I mean, these are the games that we should be winning, but we could do with him back for the first, I would say, first proper test, which would be Liverpool. But we went there, I know you said it earlier, if we play with Fellaini in the midfield, we'll lose. But look at our midfield last season. We nicked a point.
I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that.
I thought you said that with the slow midfield. We won't win.
No, I didn't say we'd lose. I said we won't win the title with Fellaini in the team all season because against better teams we'll lose. But we'll win today with Fellaini in the midfield. Yeah, definitely. I don't think you could play Matic and Fellaini against even Liverpool at Anfield. I think we'd get overrun. We got overrun against Southampton. We did. We got overrun in the midfield with those two, and you know, partly because 2 against 3, you are going to get overrun anyway.
So what do you think if we still got Fellaini in the midfield against Liverpool then?
I'm not saying I wouldn't play Fellaini, and I think he probably will, but I think you've got to chuck Herrera in there and have a midfield 3. You can't go to Liverpool and be expansive with this team. It won't work, and especially against Liverpool, he'll be massively up for it.
Well, when you think of the midfield that we took there last season, I'd be quite positive of getting a result there, especially now with Matic in the CDM to control it.
Yeah, I mean, Matic, one of the big things about Matic is that, you know, it might have been in doubt about whether he still had it, but one of the things that we do have with Matic is the experience level is exceptional.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, he's a very calm person on the ball as well. He won't just get rid of it for the sake of it. He'll try and play the pass first, or if there's nothing on going forward, he'll go back.
Yeah.
I thought Phil Jones had picked up an injury as well, Mark.
Yeah, I was just on about that. Clearly not. Clearly not. Mourinho and his mind games again.
So Valencia's seeing a lot of ball down the right-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you on about that a couple of weeks ago, actually, about how we use the right-hand side a lot. I think we've started since we've brought Ashley Young in there, we've definitely started to use the left side more. Yes.
Yeah, it's we're not predictable in the sense now that we're just going down the one side and that's it. Mark Hughes said that he found a weakness, which was down our left, but now Ashley Young's filled the gap. I don't think the weakness is there as much.
Rockio World says, is Fosu Mensah playing? No, he can't play, he's on loan. I mean, Palace are depleted anyway. No Benteke, no Zaha, no Fosu Mensah. He wouldn't have been able to play anyway. And no Loftus-Cheek, who's apparently one of their better players as well. Complacency is the problem for United, though. We can't get complacent.
Did they actually buy Loftus-Cheek, or is it a loan?
I think he might be a loan from Chelsea. It's the first half, Aaron. We're only just over 15 minutes in.
Fellaini's getting stuck in as usual. So they've not put up much of a fight yet, Crystal Palace, so I can't see it staying like that for the whole 90 minutes.
No, like I say, United have just got to keep their concentration levels up, keep their effort levels up, and I think, to be honest, some people might be confident enough to say it's already 3 points in the bag with us 1-0 up. I think 2-0, it's game over. Palace haven't scored all season. You're always capable of a lucky goal, but
yeah.
I'll be much happier when it's 2-0. But I said to Ross, and we were talking about it on the live comments, Marcus, I mean, thinking back to the summer, if you were offered, joint top, whatever, after going into the second international break, I think we'd all be ecstatic with that. We might have hoped it, but from where we've been over the last few years, I mean, that is a fantastic achievement from the team and the manager.
It is, considering what we've had to be seeing for under Van Gaal's reign and David Moyes' reign. He's done wonders since Mourinho's come in. He's tried to clear out a lot of the rubbish. He's put his own stamp on the team, obviously bringing his own players, playing his way, and we're reaping the rewards from it. 2 trophies last season, 3 if you count the Community Shield. Top of the league this season, or joint top. So we've come a long way.
Donny Pollitt says, what was the goal like? So it was out down the right hand side of Crystal Palace near their right back. Rashford skins him, totally skins him. It'll be well worth a watch on Match of the Day later. Runs into the box, cuts it back for Mata. It's a congested box, so it wasn't an easy cut back. Cut it back, but it's right into the path of Mata to just pass it home from around the penalty box. A nice goal. 1-0 to West Brom, says Man United lists. I think I went for West Brom Watford to draw, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, so good start from United, and I mean the one thing that gets levelled to United a lot from the rivals at the moment, and it's not our fault, is that everyone just keeps saying United are playing easy team after easy team after easy team, and well, Crystal Palace have played Liverpool, they've played City, everyone's played Crystal Palace and they've taken the points, so why shouldn't we? I mean, I looked at the start of the season and I knew up until the Liverpool game all games were winnable, but we've had 4 years of winnable games and not won them, so to step up and start winning them is a massive improvement anyway. So all those rivals or moaners saying, oh, we haven't played anyone decent, they get off the bus, because Man United's problem has been not being able to beat those sort of teams. So, sit down, like I say. It's we've improved massively in that area. And also, I look at the fixtures, and Stoke, Southampton and Everton at home especially, of course, a United side under Sir Alex Ferguson that always challenge for titles would be looking at those 3 games and wanting to win them. But form over the last 4 years, going to Southampton and winning, beating Everton at home, that they're not guaranteed. Of course there are harder games to come, and we've got a pretty tough October on paper with Chelsea, Spurs and Liverpool to play, and when the next international break comes around in November, we'll know a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. Got to remember as well, I mean, looking into the second half of the season, we're playing these big teams before Christmas away from home, so if we're still in the title running, if we're still in the chase for it at the end of towards the season, we'll be playing them at home, so that's always a bonus. Yeah,
and also momentum and confidence brings a lot with it. And I mean, do you want to start off the season like Chelsea have, playing all they've played Arsenal, they've played Spurs, they're playing City today? I mean, to be fair, if Chelsea get a result today, they've had a very good start to the season. They'll only be 3 points behind us, and they've played 3 very good sides. So Chelsea will think, well, when it evens itself up, we'll go ahead of them, and they've got every right to think that. But momentum is everything, and I'm quite happy with the start to the season we've had, because if you win, it becomes a groove. And I always say that by the end of September, pretty much the teams that are at the top and the teams that are at the bottom, that is sort of the theme is set for the season, and it very rarely changes away from that.
Yeah, I know. As you just said there, people saying we've not played anyone decent yet, but I actually regard Southampton and Leicester as decent teams.
Yeah, Leicester, yeah.
Yeah, I mean we got the result obviously against them both, but Southampton is probably, in terms of the result, probably the toughest test so far that we've had. We didn't play particularly well, and it's always a sign of a good team when you win a game and play ugly, so to speak.
I've just got to do the normal. I know we get a lot of new viewers on the United Stand when we do a watch along. Make sure you click that subscribe button and get involved. The biggest Manchester United independent fan channel on YouTube. A fantastic community. You're part of it all the time with the live comments. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got Skype shows where you can Skype in and get involved. Sunday night live at 8 o'clock. Loads and loads of content for United fans to get involved and talk about the club they love. So do join us and get involved. You found a fantastic community. Now for the disclaimer. When we do a watch along, we cannot show you the game. For the regulars, you'll be going, why are you having to tell them again, Mark? But newbies totally don't get it and understand that. We cannot show you the game because it is illegal to stream the game and show you the game. That's what Sky Sports, BT Sports pay billions for. They wouldn't be very happy if little old United stands started streaming Premier League football, especially at 3 o'clock on a Saturday when they're not even allowed to do it. So we can't show you the game. What we can do is keep you updated with what's going on with the game, discuss it with you, and you can all discuss it with each other. And we've got 2,800 people in a little community all watching or discussing the game together, and that's the beauty of a watch along. So that's what a watch along is.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan's been seeing a lot of the ball as well this first half. Normally, as we've seen before, he runs with the ball with his head down, but he's actually picked out a good couple of passes so far.
Yep. Seb was crying, my little baby was crying, but his mum's with him, don't worry. He's just a big Martial fan, and he'd been having a sleep. He's woken up and he's seen that Martial's on the bench, and he's not having it. He's not having it at all. I hadn't told him about Fellaini yet, he didn't see that. Acid says Manchester United will win. Midfield is really slow, says Shrindy. It is. It is, to be fair. Palace are getting more and more into this game. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, they are. I suppose we've took our foot off the gas a little bit since the goal. We've not really threatened. We're playing it out from the back, just taking our time. I think we just need to calm it down a bit.
We need to go up a gear, don't we?
I think, yeah, the next goal would kill it. I mean, but there's always that worry at 1-0, isn't there? If Palace score, like, they get their tails up and they'll come at us thinking they can get a result.
Yeah, we just, like you say, we just need to kill it off. We've got the gears to do it, and we've, you know, 2 goals and it's gone.
So we're just keeping hold of the ball, trying to.
Who would be your player of the season so far for United? There's a few people sort of talking about it in the live comments, and it's a very interesting one. For me, I know who it would be, but I'm reading some of the comments, and I can't argue with what people are saying, if I'm totally honest.
So far, I would say Valencia.
Right. A lot of people saying Matic. For me, it's Martial, and maybe that's a bit controversial, but I just think when he has been, I don't think people understand it. I was always a massive, and Sir Alex Ferguson used to say it as well. He was always a massive fan of, you know, saying Solskjaer was just an absolute genius, because to chuck somebody on with like 20 minutes to go, you've got to have studied the game to see where the weaknesses in a game are, because most footballers will take 10-20 minutes to get used to a game. And to come on as a sub and do what Solskjaer used to do, an absolute student of the game. And I think that's where Martial for me gets it. I mean, obviously Wednesday he was fantastic against Burton. He was world class as well. But I've been more impressed by what he's done off the bench. And you know, 1 chance, 1 goal. It's not easy to come on and do that. In fact, when you come on as a sub, one of the first things I used to get told when I used to play, and you probably don't get away with it as much now, was when if a fancy Dan player comes on as a sub, give him a kick. You know, welcome them to the game. So it would be Martial for me, but I understand a few people would say Matic. Valencia is a good call as well. But half an hour gone in this game, still 1-0. It has gone a little bit lethargic. United need to get that second goal ASAP just to kill the anxiety a bit. I mean, let's be honest, Crystal Palace haven't scored a goal all season, so it could be game over already. But any game's a goal. I think I'm going to pour myself a little tot of whiskey in the second half. I'm feeling a bit autumnal. But, yeah, still 1-0. United have got a cross here situation for Mata. Lots of height in the box. We'll see if he can get a delivery in. It is a bit Van Hal football right now, says Jay Hudson. We'll be talking about our favourite film again in a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, Palace, when they've not got the ball, it's 11 men in their half. So I can understand the Van Hal similarities.
Yeah.
But there's not much. I mean, you can't really play play it around the box when they've got that many men behind the ball. You've got to be very precise to do that. It's very intricate to do it.
Paul Gibson, with a big tongue in his cheek, says, should be 4-0 up by now. Ridiculous. Worst performance in our history. Very big tongue in his cheek. Ali Sands says it sounds boring. Freddie Harrison says it is boring. Look, I ain't going to complain. I'm not complaining. Look, we're 1-0 up. We potentially get 3 points from this game. We're top of the league. I'm not complaining about the result, because we could be playing like this and it'd be 0-0, and then we'd be like, really, what the hell's going on? So we are, it's job done in a sense. But if you want to take that next step and start thinking about goal difference, you shouldn't knock a gift horse in the mouth. And I mean, a very good point Ross made as well when we were talking from the team news, Marcus, is that obviously we know the hangover of Europa League football. You play on a Thursday night and then you play again on a Sunday afternoon, and that's rigid. There's no movement because you've got to play by Sunday and you have to play on a Thursday night. 2.5 days, It can leave you a bit lethargic. Champions League's a lot better because you could play Tuesday, Sunday, but with this one, it's gone against us a little bit, because we're the 3 o'clock on a Saturday, Wednesday night in Moscow. It is a 2.5 sort of Europa League turnaround of 2.5 days. So bit of lethargy could be a bit of a problem for United as well.
Yeah, it could be, but looking on the plus side, the international break is what? Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So in terms of Manchester United as a club, this isn't really a bad thing to have a Champions League game and then a 3 o'clock Saturday game, because United then don't play for 2 weeks. But if it was, I'd be a bit more upset about it, a bit more peeved about it if, say, we were away to like Liverpool or Arsenal or Chelsea after the Champions League game. But I think this time, Crystal Palace at home it's not a bad situation.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect game after that Moscow trip. The one thing you want to do is play bottom of the league who haven't scored all season. Although at the moment, I'll be totally fair to Palace, they're the best team. Hamza says, are we making chances? No, we're not. I'd say Palace are in the ascendancy at the moment. Mkhitaryan's sort of started okay, but as Mika says, he's been the worst player on the pitch now, and another disappointing display by Mkhitaryan for me. Yeah,
I mean, he's not been great, but I mean the positive is that when he's got the ball and he's running forward, he's looking in front of him. Wednesday, he didn't do that. He hasn't done that for, I suppose, all season. He runs with his head down and loses the ball.
I just think he needs to grab these sort of games and take control. Otherwise, how can we expect him to take control of?
Well, a player of his quality should be showing his stuff against this sort of team.
Yeah, I agree.
I know the price tag shouldn't come into it, but he was top in the assists in Germany.
Decent shot there. De Gea makes a save. We took the foot off the gas as Den Batterworth. Does anyone know what the hashtag on Twitter is for the Crystal Palace game? I've just tried MUFC versus CP and I can't find it. So if anyone knows it, let me know. Somebody says get Martial on. To be honest, Marcus, I don't think that's the problem. Rashford's looked quite sharp. Lukaku willing as ever. Mata's obviously already got a goal. The front three, obviously I would have played Martial from the start. The problem is the problem is the back is what it was. It's a very similar performance to Southampton actually. We get the goal and then we allow. I mean, Ashley Young's not actually playing very well against Andros Townsend, and I think Ashley Young's been fantastic this season. But Townsend's having him on toast a little bit, to be honest, in a defensive way. But the problem is not getting the ball or not getting decent ball from back to front. And we're hitting a lot of long balls. And it's MUNCRY. Thanks, everybody. Loads of you doing that. You see, can't do the show without you. You're fantastic.
Yeah, I think in terms of Ashley Young, he's been caught out with his lack of pace against Townsend, I suppose. Townsend obviously is the quickest out of the two. He's just been caught out for a yard of pace coming down that left-hand side.
Townsend's a decent player. Oh, bloody hell. I didn't realise we're on 139,431 subscribers. We could get 140,000 today. That would be stunning if we did that. So if you are new, make sure you click that subscribe button. And as I always say, get involved with the channel. We've got Skype Goldbridge on Monday night where you can call in. We've got Sunday night show tomorrow at 8 o'clock, which is always a great show. I'll be doing my match reaction straight after this game. And then tonight, keep your eye on United Stand. And the best way to do that is to subscribe and click the bell and get notifications, because we've got fan cams coming up tonight on the show. I don't know what we're going to get. I wouldn't say I'm against it, but I'm curious as to what it's going to be like. But they will be going up tonight, and I'll be, I'm very excited because obviously I'm on a vast majority of the content on the United Stand, so it's going to be very exciting to get content that's obviously very relevant because it's people who've been at the game, and I won't be on it, so I'll be watching it like you lot. So I'm very excited to see that. If you are at the game, I can't understand how anybody would be able to watch the live stream when they're at the game, by the way, because the internet is awful at Old Trafford. But we will be filming from around 10 to 5 straight after the game on the bridge next to Hotel Football, next to the Megastore. Oh, yes! 2-0, yes. Game over. And it is Fellaini. We predicted Fellaini would score from an Ashley Young cross.
Oh, man.
And, well, we did predict it and did exactly what it said on the tin markers. Get in that final third. Herrera can't do that.
That's it. I have noticed in the couple of attacks that we've had, Fellaini a couple of times has been the furthest man forward in the box.
Yeah, I've noticed it a lot with when we play these sort of teams. They did it against Everton as well. You think it's a midfield too, but when they park the bus, Fellaini can basically get in the box. Matic will stay, and Smalling or Jones will move into the midfield.
Well, that's the beauty of Matic in that role as well, a natural, energetic CDM.
And that is game over.
Yeah, it's definitely game over now.
Now we go for goal difference.
Yeah, so I mean, great bit of play there, and we've got the second, and that's it.
I mean, to be honest, people will be going, "Oh, Maron, he's brilliant. You can't drop him," and all that nonsense. I mean, I'll be totally honest with you. Marcus's mum would have scored that goal. It was just it's a bit like the one Rashford put in for Fellaini in the Europa League semi-final. I think it was. The cross is sensational, and I'm not taking anything away from Fellaini, by the way, but it's important when you're watching football to appreciate where the goal comes from. Fellaini will score goals this season where you go, wow, that's amazing, and he's made that goal. But there are times when you've got to say the assist makes that goal, and the person who takes the glory gets the glory. But it was such a good cross, impossible to defend, and also in a way. It wasn't a header, sorry, by the way. It wasn't a header. No. But Ashley Young, bad defensive start to the game. But as I've said, probably the only person in the team who can put a decent cross in the box. And can, I'll tell you what, I'll eat my words a little bit. I love the natural cross. That was an in-swinging cross. But an in-swinging cross for the second week in a row.
That is, yeah. And again, another important goal by Fellaini. We said we needed the second to kill the game off. He's done it again. Yeah. So I mean, we know his uses, we know his limitations, but I do think that he gets not as much respect as he should.
Look, he's just killed the game off for us, so I don't want to be. I don't want to go down that road, but I will go down that road because you forced me down it. And the reality is, we won't win the title if he plays every week. I'll tell you that for free, because against we haven't played the better midfield yet, and you can't. I know he's a threat in the final third, but he should be a threat in the final third in the final 20 minutes. If you play him for 90 minutes against the better teams, his weaknesses will get exposed. But in a game like this, I wanted Herrera to play. I've got to be totally honest. I did want him to play, but
Herrera doesn't have that threat about him.
No, you're right, and we spoke about it. Ross predicted Fellaini would score, and I said that, look, actually, in a game like this where a team's parking the bus, of course I want to see Herrera and Matic play together. They were fantastic the other night. But actually, you don't need 2 centre-backs and 2 midfielders against Crystal Palace when they're just going to park the bus. What will happen is Fellaini will do what he's done. He will go and bomb on, and will leave Matic to deal with the midfield, and he'll get in that final third. And Herrera could do it, but he can't get on the end of crosses like that. He can't be a threat. There's a different threat. So it's worked really well. Mourinho's got it right again, because Rashford starts over Martial, makes the first goal, and he did again. You know, we can all celebrate Mata's goal, but we'd be idiots to say Mata gets the plaudits, because it wasn't. It was brilliant by Rashford, and he deserves the plaudits. And again, Ashley Young deserves the plaudits for the second goal, and Fellaini puts it in. So good goals for Fellaini and Mata, but it's Young and Rashford who've really excelled in the creative side of things. But again, as we said, last season we might have missed those chances. We're putting the chances away.
Yeah, most definitely. Just looking at the league table there now, if we can get another 2,
yeah,
we'll be level on the goal difference with City.
Just seen, I mean, Mata's got loads of gifts for this, but he's just done it again. Absolute sensational ball control in the air. Just, you know, killed it. Absolutely murdered the ball. It just stopped. Froze time.
Yeah, fantastic. I know you like the natural cross mark, but I do think that the in-swinging crosses can sometimes be a lot more difficult to defend in terms of the goalie, because they don't know whether to come or stay on the line.
I think if you get the right whip and the right height, yeah, and that did. It had the right sort of dip on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Luis Fernandez says Mata is a finesse god. He is. But United have won this game now, so the trick should come out. And I think now we do start thinking about the goal difference, because I'll be stunned unless Martial's carrying a knock. I'd be thinking around the hour 70-minute mark, as we were talking about a few minutes ago. Let's get Martial, let's get Lingard on, and let's try and get 3 or 4 goals in this game now. Because if we can come out with that, you know, I don't think goal difference will be the thing that matters, but you know, we shouldn't ignore it.
No, we shouldn't ignore it, and it would be nice for the players to know that even with Man City's attacking threats that they have, that
Smalling just wide from a corner.
That yeah, we can keep up with them, not just in terms of points, but in terms of the goals they're scoring as well.
I think Smalling, it's a good effort by Smalling. Nigel Reid, I agree. I don't think Mkhitaryan's been very good again. You look at where the goal's coming from as well, Marcus. It's very good to what you were saying the other week as well about, well, we all knew it. This very right-sided United have been for a long time. Where are all the goals coming from? The last 3 league goals have come from the left.
Left side, Ashley Young.
Crosses.
You know, Ashley Young doing what he's doing at the minute, he's going to make it very hard for Luke Shaw to come back into this side.
But we want that, don't we? It's the same thing with Martial. You know, Rashford's done okay. You want that. We want battles. We want rivalry. I love the fact we've got Rashford and Martial fighting.
Yeah, but when you look at it in terms of when all our left backs are actually fit and available, we'll have Luke Shaw, Daley Blind, and let's not forget Rojo to come back as well. Yeah, we're going to have, 4 left-sided players fighting for one position.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Rojo will be back as the centre-back when he comes.
Oh, I don't want Rojo at left-back, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, we saw what Mourinho did with him last season, playing him as a centre-back. He may be able to transform him into a left-back, but he thinks he can be.
I can tell you for a fact, it wasn't Marouane Fellaini who did the super chat the other night. Either that, or he's got a phone in his pocket, because Marouane Fellaini's just made another contribution. He says, "My mercy has no boundaries. While I score for goals, I still manage to find time to contribute to the United stand." Well, thanks for that, Marouane. Yeah, thanks very much. But at least you put those people to bed who thought he was genuinely him. I tell you what though, for everyone who's going on about goal difference and everything like that, I predicted 2-0, and I don't think it will finish 2-0. But I'm just very happy that this game's pretty much done, because I always felt we would win, but you never know. You never know whether that's going to happen or not.
No, I always think I'm a great believer in it's the lesser teams that cause the big teams trouble. When you get two giants, two big teams go at it, it's usually one team will win. It hardly ever a draw. But with the lesser teams, they're so unpredictable.
Jeff Doherty agrees with me. Rojo is a better option at centre back than Lindelof. Rojo's a very interesting one because obviously we saw him come into the team for about 4 months and he was brilliant at that left-handed centre back. But before that, I think most people wouldn't have lost any sleep if we'd sold him. He was a bit. I always said he was the most diverse centre back I've ever seen because he didn't mind whether it was Messi or Cameron Jerome skinning him. Anyone could do it. He didn't mind. And then Mourinho turned him into a very good player. But he's got to be a centre-back for me. Whether he be first choice or not, a lot depends on how... we thought Phil Jones was going to miss this game because Mourinho said it. And we were talking about it on the show last night. How disappointing it was and how we just can't trust Phil Jones because he could be the best centre-back in the world. But if he can't play more than 6 games in a row, there's no point in him being at the club. So it's great that he's playing today because we thought he wasn't going to play. And at the moment, I think him and Bailly are the centre-backs. It's interesting that Smalling's played today, though, Marcus. That can only be fatigue, I suppose, for Bailly.
Yeah, I would have thought so because normally Bailly, unless it's a serious injury, he normally plays, doesn't he, through the pain barrier.
Yeah.
He's such a strong beast of a defender, and he's quite young as well. But yeah, when you look at the centre backs, Bay, Lindelof, Smalling, Jones, Rojo can obviously play centre back or left back. Blinds as left back, Luke Shaw, Ashley Young. The only cover really we don't have. I mean, you could even throw Darmian into the mix as the left back. So it's the right back position that we are very, very thin on.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're very close to half time. It's flown by.
Yeah. I mean, I know obviously, you can put people there, but we don't have a specialist right back.
No, I mean, somebody was on about it a few, I think it was just before the game or right at the start of this half, saying about Perisic and how good he is for Inter Milan. I mean, it's a real shame we didn't get him. I think he would have been, would have given us so much more options. But I think the revival or the return to fitness of Ashley Young has been fantastic because 2 assists in the last 2 games. And he's given us balance to that left-hand side, which has been fantastic. Yeah. Anyway, Marcus, Ross is going to pop on.
Yeah, no worries.
So go and have yourself a cup of tea or whatever, and we'll get you back on for second half.
Okay, mate. All right. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit, pal. It is half time. Let me sort the timer out. It is half time, and I've just tweeted actually because I'm in charge of the Twitter account when we're live for matches, and I've just said title winning first half question mark because it has been a little bit like that. We have, efficiently. Against the team we're expected to beat, we have efficiently taken control of it, and you can't knock it. I do think there's been some performances that have been suspect again. I do wonder about Mkhitaryan. I think he's got to step it up in games like this. It's funny that Ashley Young defensively, Andros Townsend has really given him the runaround, but offensively. Such a threat, and Fellaini benefits from it to kill the game from a fantastic cross from Ashley Young. And Rashford, as we said, I don't know if the right back Ward will ever be the same again. But Marouane Fellaini's made a contribution. I'll hide the phone in my hair, it's our secret. Ross, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do, mate. Right.
Yeah, good. Very, very efficient first half from United, and I don't think we'd be presumptuous to say game over already.
Definitely. What I found quite funny is I literally think everything we spoke about before the match has actually happened. We spoke about Ashley Young's crossing. We spoke about Fellaini at the back post. We spoke about Mata being so key in games like this, and it's all come true. And we spoke about how poor Mkhitaryan was, and he has been that for me as well. So, but all in all, it's what it should be. It's 2-0. The game is absolutely over, and I'd be looking at maybe giving Martial maybe a little bit more than half an hour for this game, but I doubt it. I think he'll probably get 10, 15 minutes. But that's all I'm looking at, to be honest, looking at the bench, looking at players like... Oh, do you know what? I'm going to throw a right curveball out here. I'd be opposed to see Jesse Lingard come on for Mkhitaryan because...
Yeah,
why
like
not?
That,
I don't think you could get any worse.
I tell you what, I think Mkhitaryan, I just saw somebody calling us haters of Mkhitaryan there. We don't actually hate anybody. It's just about where the improvements could be in this team that he's doing so well. And I think because the team's doing so well at the moment, I think Mkhitaryan's almost hiding amongst it. And in the last few minutes of the game, he'll probably get an assist or a goal and everyone will go, oh, you've got to have him in your fantasy football team. That doesn't mean he's doing well enough. There was he broke from the midfield again in that first half. He had a pass onto Lukaku and he hit the left back. It's like, I'm not saying he's awful, but he's the number 10. And the reason I like Mkhitaryan, by the way. I thought it was a fantastic signing. But I've just spent 3 years moaning about Rooney, one of our best players we've ever had at the club. The decline was real. He was playing at number 10 and it wasn't good enough. So I'd be a hypocrite if I went, oh yeah, I'm really happy with Mkhitaryan. Having spent 3 years saying the number 10 is the most important position in the attacking side and Rooney can't do it. And I think at the moment Mkhitaryan is sort of failing. But we did speak about it, didn't we? You said Fellaini's probably going to score. I had a little bit of a moan about wanting Herrera to play, but then I did rescue myself and said, I know why he's doing it, because Herrera can't run into the box against the team that's parking the bus and leave Matic running the midfield. And Fellaini kept doing it, and that was obviously the plan, and he got the goal. And as you said, we did spend a few minutes talking about Mr. Consistent, Mata, how important he is, got rested in the week. Really pleased for Mata to score, but a bit like Fellaini's goal, the makers made the goal. I mean, tap in for Mata, tap in for Fellaini, Ashley Young, Rashford. Last 3 league goals have all come from the left. Last 3 years, we've ignored the left.
Yeah, it's true. Ashley Young has literally had the chalk and cheese game for me because going forward, he's looked unbeatable. Defending, he's looked really, really shaky. But that's what Ashley Young is. He's not really a left back. But we were saying that sort of pre-season, weren't we, that we need a crosser on that left-hand side. And look, Ashley Young has plugged the gap there, which is fantastic. And it's an interesting one because there was that Perisic thing, but I like having Rashford and Ashley Young because the overlap is real, and that will always pin back their right winger, knowing that Ashley Young's going to overlap all the time. So it works really well. But again, it's quite a poor Crystal Palace, but I think they've probably played the best game they've played all season. At 1-0, they looked really lively and really good. Played some really good football. Can't take that away from them, which is why I want to give a shout out to Fellaini, because that second goal, I know it was all created by Ashley Young, but someone's got to be on the end of it. And that's the second goal that we could never score last season. So I'm so pleased to, like you say, 2-0, game's dead. If you go in at 1-0, there's always that 1-1 draw worry.
I've just seen that I benched Decore from Watford and he's bloody scored. That's always what happens with me. And why I've got Gabriel Jesus as my captain, I do not know. It's going to be a disaster. Absolute disaster week coming in. Although Daya should get a clean sheet. I'm just looking at the scores. West Brom beating Watford 2-1. And Stoke beating Southampton 1-0. Stoke manager Mark Hughes obviously thinks Southampton are Man United. We've had another contribution from David Carey. He says, hi Mark, Mickey's having a bad game again. Imagine Griezmann playing behind Lukaku because Mickey don't take it. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks. People have been saying, where does Griezmann fit into this team? You stick Griezmann where Mkhitaryan is, good night. We'll be challenging for the Champions League. That position is our weak position at the moment. Ryan C just said put Mata in there. We spoke about that before the game as well. I think the number 10 position is very important. At the moment, we're not getting enough out of it. Mkhitaryan can do the role. He's done it for years at Dortmund. He can do the role. He's not doing bad at the role, but he can do a lot better. And I think if he doesn't do a lot better, there's a certain number 7 coming in to do it.
Definitely, yeah, definitely, totally agree with that. Yeah, the team. I look on Twitter a lot at Atletico Madrid fans, and it's quite funny because they don't see what every United fan sees. He is coming to United next season. We all know it, and it is going to be great to see. But I have to give the last shout out I'm going to give is to Lukaku today, because although he's pretty much done nothing, I think that he's done a really good job of occupying their 2 centre backs, which again, he's pinned them back. They're sitting deep, and it frees up the space for Mkhitaryan to lose the ball, and Juan Mata and Rashford on the left. And I think that's, even though Lukaku probably won't score today, I think he deserves a shout out because he's doing the unselfish things now, which is creating a space so the team can win, and that's what you need from your top goal scorer, is that unselfishness.
We've spoken about it for weeks collectively on the channel, people on the live comments as well, and this is the big reason I wouldn't swap Lukaku for anybody else in the world, because if he doesn't score today, I'd still, like you say, what a performance. It's not the goals are great, and he's breaking records with the goals, and he will score goals. That's fantastic. But the reason I wouldn't, Morata would score goals in this team, no doubt about it. But the reason I wouldn't swap him for another striker is for what you've just said there, and we've been saying it for weeks. It's the work that he does against the opposition centre-backs. He creates so much space for people like Rashford, Mata, Mkhitaryan, and that comes from the work Lukaku does. If you've got Zlatan there last year, you've got a higher line defence pushing that space, you've got Zlatan coming into that space, Lukaku will push them back. He wants to play on the last man, he wants to occupy them, and he creates so much space. And that's why Lukaku, the goals are great, but that's why I wouldn't swap him for anybody, because he just does that job so well, and he's been doing it well today. And like you say, he might not score a goal, but he has done really well.
Definitely. And yeah, it's a 2-0 at half time. It's pretty much all we could dream of. And now it was like I could kind of relax. I've got my phone out. I was looking at other scores around the Premier League. It's that kind of game. And that, like you said, pre-match, again, everything we said pre-match has come true. It is like the Fergie era where you almost don't have to watch the game. Of course we're going to watch the game. It's United. But the writing was on the wall before this game kicked off, and it's happened like that. And it's nice to be able to relax and watch United for a time being, because I haven't had that in years.
We're closing in on 140,000 subscribers. I wasn't quite sure whether we'd get there today, but you can see the numbers, 139,630. If we could hit 140,000 subscribers, it would be fantastic today. If you are new to the channel, what a channel you've found. Great community, live comments, Ross is on, I'm on. Link the image, sorry, how you subscribe button, or if you're watching it on your desktop, you'll see the little hologram in the bottom right hand corner. Make sure you click the bell and get all notifications, because we're not just live for the matches, we're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got Skype shows for you to call in. Got a Sunday night show at 8 o'clock where Ross will be on. Hopefully Flex will be on as well. That's always a good show. And tonight, the reason you want to subscribe and get your notifications is tonight from around 6 o'clock, maybe a little bit later, we'll have fan cams loading up on the channel for the first time ever from Old Trafford. What will the fans at the ground be thinking? Will they be agreeing with what we've saying, or have they seen something else? Because I tell you what, you get up there quite a lot, Ross. I was up there last at Chelsea. You don't see the things you do, but you do see things we don't see. So it's going to be interesting to get the interpretation from the people at the ground.
Yeah, definitely. It is. It's strange. You get 2 different perspectives there and at home, but and some people prefer one or the other. Me, I quite enjoy both, to be honest. But yeah, it will be good, and I bet there will be some stuff that we haven't picked up on, to be honest. And because individually, all over the pitch, there's been some really key performances. And the very last shout out I'm going to give to is Nemanja Matic, because by his standards, he's probably been quite standard, but that's his standards. He's just been immense, and he creates that space for Fellaini, because Fellaini doesn't really need to be in the midfield, because Matic can do 2-3 players' jobs all at once.
Like Danish says, let the horses run, Jose. Famously said that against Swansea, didn't it? I think we were 1-0, 2-0 up, and he went for it, and he brought the players on. I don't think, Ross, that goal difference is going to be that important. I think whoever wins it will win it by points, not goal difference. But we are 2 behind Man City. Obviously, we'll have played a game more. We may as well. we may as well. The opportunity's there. The game's won at half time. We may as well just go for them and go up a level. Going into international break as well, it's not like we've got a game on Wednesday to worry about. I think we may as well just go for it, give it a bloody good go, and let's see what we can do.
Definitely, and maybe look to rest players that need to be rested. Let's not forget Lukaku's played 90 minutes of every game this season. I'm not saying let's take him off, but for Martial could be an option. I'd like to see him up front. And I said the Mkhitaryan sub, I'd be looking to sub the players that played 90 minutes against Moscow as well, to be honest. So I'll be looking at Lingard for Mkhitaryan.
Probably happen. You've predicted everything else. Sidolf Bossy says, loving the game, Mark. What a performance from Fellaini. Mata, obviously man of the match so far, but Fellaini's improvement needs appreciation. Thanks for the contribution, pal. And Denise Lever makes a good point. Remember, City were 1-0 at half-time last week against Crystal Palace. They ended up winning by 5 because Palace fell apart and we can run riot. I think you're right. Get Martial on and Lingard and let's go for it. But
and the one thing I noticed about Palace in that half as well is they were closing us down very quickly. And I was watching that thinking, God, they're going to be absolutely knackered in the second half because they put a lot into that half, even though they're 2-0 down.
Thanks for coming on as ever, Ross. Spot on.
Cheers, Mark.
With everything you've said today. And tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll see you then, mate.
All right, mate. Have a good second half and enjoy the Guinness.
No worries. I will be watching your FIFA stream later as well, so you might see me in the comments.
All right, okay, mate. I'll speak to you later.
Cheers,
we'll have to
mate.
do a combined thing at some point as well.
Yeah, I'll give you a game at some point. Catch you later.
You're back to me. I'll speak to you later.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Ta-da. Yeah, just in case people are wondering there, we've got another channel, which is a generic football channel called That's Football. There'll be a live stream watch-along for the Man City versus Chelsea game at 5:30 on That's Football tonight. And then at 8 o'clock tonight on That's Football, I'll be streaming live for 3 hours on my FIFA 18 career mode. So join me live at 8 o'clock. I'll be having a few drinks as well. So it'll be a bit of a banter Saturday night. I've done 2 episodes so far. I'm struggling. The only way is up, let's just say. But the best things take work. And a bit like United with Mourinho. You're at the bottom of the mountain, aren't you? And he's certainly pulling us back up it. If anyone's at the ground, just to say, if anyone's at the ground, we are doing fan cams afterwards tonight. Straight after the game, we'll be set up taking your opinions on fan cams. If you want to get on, we are going to be set up by the bridge next to Hotel Football Megastore, around that area. So get yourself down there straight after the game. Give us your thoughts on the game. Fan cams on the United stand for the first time ever. If you're at the ground, near the bridge, Hotel Football and Megastore around that area, we'll be setting up. So join us for that. And those videos will be going up this evening, probably around half time in the Man City Chelsea game, up on this channel. So make sure you've clicked subscribe and make sure you've clicked the bell because you'll get notifications when those videos come up. Martial will destroy their defence, says Darth Vader, and bring in Martial, Lingard and Herrera, says Eric Ross. Second half is up and running. And what do I think the final score will be, says Tommy Wickens. Well, my prediction for the score was 2-0. I can't see that. I think United will score at least one more. So I think 4-0 is the safe bet, which is Subprat TV's just said that. And Lukaku's very nearly just scored anyway. It's going to be a corner. So United, yeah, I need to sort the timer out. You're right. So let me get it to that. It's an early corner for United in this half. And Palace have cleared it. Let's get Marcus on. How you doing, pal?
Hello.
Hello.
You alright, mate?
Yeah, yeah. You?
Yeah, got me coffee.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm fine.
I'm going to sort myself out in a minute.
Martial getting the ball, Rashford getting the ball straight away down the left.
Yeah, yeah. We're up and running. Second half. Puts a little bit of pressure on to City and Chelsea, I suppose. I think they would have fully expected us to win this anyway, but
yeah, I mean, I don't think any United fan contemplated a loss today, did they?
You never know in
Also-
football. I think so. You know, in the back of the mind, I think we all expected to win this game, but you just, you know.
So, looks like we're picking up where we left off. Keeping it on the floor, keeping possession.
Ooh, nearly a chance there. Rashford
yeah.
blocked. Mr. Adichie 44 says he's going to call his son Marcus. Then he can call him Marcus and Mark. True. Good one.
Oh, sorry.
Lovely bit
yeah.
of skill by Ashley Young there. Gets chopped down by Crystal Palace player who just basically couldn't be asked to make the tackle, so just black fouled him. Young is getting younger, says Say Shiva. He's Benjamin Button.
Yeah, I think Ross was absolutely spot on with what he was saying about Lukaku. Yeah, he's not had his best game, but what he's doing is like totally unselfish, bringing others into play.
Ashley Young is doing very well actually.
Yeah. So it looks like our right back and left backs are getting forward a lot more.
It's 3-0 to Manchester United.
Yes,
I was looking away. Oh, bloody hell. I think it's Fellaini again.
Yeah.
He's on a hat-trick.
The danger and the hassle that bloke causes in the box is unreal.
Well, it's Ashley Young across. No, it's not. It's Rashford, a blasted cross. And he's done well on that one. I'm going to give him some credit because the cross is blasted in. And although he's so close when he scores it, and Rashford again with a great cross, Fellaini's on a hat-trick.
Do you know, I'd probably say there that Rashford was going for goal.
Yeah.
There was enough venom in that cross come shot for it to go straight in. But Fellaini's there again just to make sure, and that is definitely game over.
Well, this is now where we start talking about goal difference, because one more and we've equalled with City, but obviously they're playing today, so if they win they'll go ahead by that. So we want 6. We want 6. I think 6 would be just about right, wouldn't it? No, I'm going to give Fellaini some credit on that one because it's blasted across. I think Marcus is right. He's trying to shoot. And although when you watch the goal back, he's so close, you'd say he can't miss it. Because it's hit so hard, you've got like split second to get the right part of your head onto it. So he has done well on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where you just guide it in, don't you? You just give it that extra nudge just to make sure it goes in the net.
I think that was a penalty for Palace as well. Just watching it back, Smalling did chop him down.
So it looks like you might have to find the wig again, Mark.
Oh, you've ruined it now. I know exactly where it is as well.
Oh, right. There's... So I think
let
for
me
a
update
FIFA
the
stream,
Let me update.
you stream tonight, wear the wig?
What, for 3 hours? No.
No, wear it, what, half hour? I'll tell you what
I
game.
really love about it though is when I think people have sort of copped on a bit now, is that obviously I don't think United can win the league with Fellaini playing every week, and I'd be surprised if anybody really thinks that, because you know against better teams he will get found out. But I've never said he's not a bad. He's not. I don't want him part of the squad. I think what he offers is something very, very different. But what I find really funny is these people who start commenting saying, he's made you look an idiot, he's proved you wrong. Like, I actually would want him to miss that chance, or the chances he's had today. Why would I want him to do that? It benefits the club I love. So, and also, Mourinho deserves the credit because he easily could have played Herrera today. But I think what he did is what we spoke about in that first hour is, there's initial disappointment that Herrera's not playing because him and Matic played so well. But look at Fellaini now. Matic is playing a good 20 yards behind him. They're not playing as a midfield two like Herrera and Matic did, because we're not playing a team that's going to cause us any problems attacking wise. They're going to park the bus. So it's really important to get Fellaini into the box as many times as possible. And Herrera can get in the box, but he can't do what Fellaini does in the box. He's not a physical specimen.
Yeah, I'll see your point there. Especially when you're talking about Matic. You know, having that specialist CDM allows these other players to get a lot further forward. You know, in terms of like Fellaini, Pogba, even Herrera, because he's not a natural CDM either. In their minds, they know they've got that backup behind them. We're still pushing forward, looking for another one, which is good. Just hopefully we don't take our foot off the gas like we did in the first half. Good opportunity here to rack up some goals.
Definitely, definitely. I'm just going to take a little quick toilet break because we're 3-0 up. I'll be 1 minute, Marcus. I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go on. Have a look. Right, awesome guy says if Fellaini scores a hat trick, you should wear the wig. Yeah. Connor C says we want the wig. Don't worry, you know, he'll wear the wig tonight. I'll make sure he wears the wig tonight for the FIFA stream. So if you're not subscribed to That's Football and you want to see him in the wig, you best subscribe to it and tune in tonight. 2 assists for Rashford from Awesome Guy. Yep. Almost for Lukaku. Yeah. It's a shame. I think that would be something else as well for Lukaku to get another goal in this game. I think he scored in every Premier League game then, has he? Not sure. David, Marcus, why is Mark so bitter and stubborn? I don't know. You'd have to ask him that. I'll ask him. Marcus, he needs to put the wig on. Where did Mark go? Getting the wig? No, Samuel, he's just gone to the toilet. Henrik Leibland says Lukaku's been poor. He's not had his best game today, has he? But he's been, like Ross said at half time, very unselfish, running the channels, doing the donkey work as it is. Michael Schofield, Marcus, you sound like such a nice guy. Have you ever killed an ant? I probably have when I've been out walking around. Sebastian, how have we played? I missed the first half. First half was it was okay. It wasn't a fantastic performance. I know we were 2-0 up at half time, but we left our foot off the gas quite a few times and let Crystal Palace come into the game. People saying Mark's wrong about Fellaini. Yeah. SZK, bet he comes back with a wig. You know what? I never thought of that actually. You might do. Lukaku has no confidence in his right foot from Christopher. No, he hasn't. He's very left foot, isn't he? Very one foot. Martin, is it number 1 or number 2? Number 1, I think. Ryan Crowley, the chair's back. Yep. Mohammed Morsin, shout out please. There you go. Corey JT, hat trick coming. Hopefully for Fellaini. Yeah. Andy Pan, Marcus, you are better today. I'm feeling a bit better than I did on Wednesday. Still got the cold though. Nasir Hayat,
drinking there?
can you shout me out please? There you go.
In a glass.
Ladin Georgiev,
I don't know what I did with it.
250 subscribers away. And there he is. He's back. And there's the week. A lot of people saying you should apologise to Fellaini, Mark.
I poured myself a drink and then... Oh, I've got it. Adam
Andre, Martial Lingard as first up. I'd go Lingard just for game time.
Back with another one of those black rocking beats. I'm back now.
Yep. A lot of people asking you to apologise, mate, to Fellaini.
Sit down. Oh, look, it's not the day for me to be horrible to Fellaini because he might get a hat-trick and bless him. But I'm wearing the wig. That's about as good as it gets. And also, look, how many people last night on the United Stand were saying, since I've joined the United Stand community, I love United much more because I watch the show so regularly and I used to support United, but now I've found this community and we talk about the club more in depth and football more in depth, and I love it, and I love football more than I did before, and what a great community we've got. Well, I'm sorry, but that community we've built has never been, oh, everything's great and rosy. You know, I always say that the best time to build on any success is when you're successful, because it's a lot harder it's a lot harder to get success when you're not. This could be 4-0 anyway. Oh, good save by the keeper. So, you know, as much as we win today, I'll be very, very happy. I'll still find something that we need to improve on. At the moment, for me, it's number 10, and Mkhitaryan is not doing enough. But the way to not become complacent is to improve when you're doing well. So all I'll say about Fellaini is this: if you think we can get away with playing him at 90 minutes every game this season in that position, then that's one thing I will agree with the rivals. When we play somebody decent, well, last weekend at Southampton, he was atrocious and we got overrun by Southampton. What do you think Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Spurs are going to do to Matic and Fellaini? They'll destroy us. So this setup works perfectly for this sort of game. I've got no problem with Fellaini playing in that. I think, Marcus, when we play Liverpool next week, in 2 weeks' time, if he's going to play Fellaini, he's got to drop Mkhitaryan and put Herrera in the midfield. You cannot play Fellaini in a midfield 2 against quick, skillful, talented midfielders the like of Chelsea and Man City have got. It's got to be a midfield 3.
Yeah, you know, our midfield 2 there, you know, whoever it is, you know, Fellaini, Matic, Herrera, they're not blessed with pace. So yeah, against the teams, the bigger teams with the better players, we will get exploited through that position. But you know, if he drops Mkhitaryan and he plays Fellaini as the number 10, yeah, it could work. And,
yeah, I'll be opposed to that. It always surprises me about Fellaini as well. Is one of my big bugbears about Fellaini is he's not a midfielder. You know, look at why we're praising Fellaini today. Is it because he's been breaking up the play and playing 30-yard passes? No. Does he ever do that? He breaks up the play a bit, but his passing, his speed are his weaknesses. Why are we praising Fellaini? Because he scored 2 goals in the opposition's penalty box. That is what Fellaini was at Everton. He was a number 10 who used to hold the play up on the edge of the box and was a bloody nightmare in the opposition position. So I don't think we use Fellaini in his best position enough. I like him when he's in the opposition's box. I love it when he's nowhere near ours. I mean, Leon Osman said it, didn't he? But in a game like this, you can't knock him. You can't knock him. And Mourinho's made it very clear that his replacement for Pogba is Fellaini. He said it about 3 or 4 times in the last year. Anyway, we've got a super chat before it whizzes by. Jeff Doherty says, the Glazers are too cheap to pay for a Champions and Premier League winner. Think of what Jose could do with Griezmann and Perisic in this squad. It'd be frightening, mate. Absolutely frightening.
I think we are probably too good, you know, world-class players away from being an absolutely fantastic squad. We are just missing that. I know, you know, you're so confident about Griezmann joining, and I do think a player of that quality is an absolute necessity next summer, because if Mkhitaryan continues to put in performances like this throughout the season, where he just goes missing for 60, 70 minutes, then yeah, I would say he's under threat.
I mean, I don't think. Let me just be honest. I don't think Mkhitaryan's terrible again. I don't think he's been terrible at all this season. His stats are very good, but he's not being good enough in that role. He gets, you know, again, you can't just say it's about 1 or 2 players. Mkhitaryan against the bigger teams, he can't perform like this. So he's either going to have to improve massively against the bigger teams, but why is he not able to do it against the lesser teams? If Mkhitaryan runs to form in the last 20 minutes, he'll get 2 assists and a goal, because that's what he's been doing. But it's that first 70 minutes when games, you know, needs to be better. I agree with Jeff Doherty. Fellaini actually is a specialist number 10. He's just never been the sort of number 10 that United have, because United want a Mata or a Rooney or a creator in that number 10, or a Mkhitaryan. We want a creator. We don't want a Fellaini to do that. But actually, it's his best position, because you can hit him and he'll control the ball like a magnet on his chest. Got some United subs coming on, and it's... Is it Martial or is it Lingard? I think it's Lingard. It is Lingard. Marouane Fellaini's made a contribution. Isn't it annoying that I'm actually winning you over? No, it's great that you're actually winning us this game, Marouane. You will never win me over. Even if I'm just stubborn, as Marcus will verify.
Yep. Yeah.
I got my whiskey anyway.
Yeah.
Got a nice.
Oh, how is your tooth anyway?
It's not been bad today. It's getting better. I'm just really into whiskey at the moment. Oh, Lukaku's in. Square it.
Should be 4.
Rubbish. He should have gone for goal. He should have gone for goal.
Yeah, Lingard's the one that's
I think
coming
Martial
on.
might have a knock.
Joe, I totally agree with Lingard coming on, because he's not had many minutes this season. The game is won. So why risk our decent players in a game like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we know the excitement that Martial brings when he comes on, but the game is over. The game is dead. It's just a matter now of running down the clock and coming out of the game injury free.
As I said, he must have a knock, because it would actually be insulting to bring Lingard on ahead of Martial based on what Martial did midweek. It would be totally unfair. So Martial must have a knock.
I'll just say as well, we are 193 subscribers off of 140,000.
That's amazing.
And
we might not quite make it, but
absolutely fantastic.
you've pushed it close. So welcome to the channel. There's a lot of you. All I'd say is we get a lot of new subscribers when we do the watch-alongs, but it doesn't really reflect in views during the week. So join us in the week. There's so many great shows in the week. The Skype show on Monday night where you lot get to call in. Sunday Night Live's great, and we've got some really good shows planned for you over the international break as well, because we like to do a little bit of looking forward, reminiscing sort of shows, and got some really good shows planned for you over the international break. And obviously, if you are subscribing, make sure you've clicked your bell, and when you click the bell, tick to get all notifications, because tonight on the United Stand we've got fan cams going up for the first time ever. Even I'll be watching that, and I never watch anything back on YouTube, certainly not myself, but I'll be watching those tonight because I'm not going to be on them. So it's great. We're going to get real fans from the ground giving their opinion on the game. I can't wait to see what they've got to say about Fellaini. I think there'll be a lot of Fellaini love.
You're on about clicking the bell there for the subscribers. I've just seen Rashford took a punch right on the bell. Jesus.
It'd be good if he didn't go with England, actually, Rashford.
Yes, definitely. I think the boy could do with the rest.
It's Mkhitaryan. I tell you what, I'll have some of what Ross is drinking, because what did Ross say? Well, he was talking to me before the game, and we were on about Mata, and he said, Mata deserves a goal. He's been brilliant this season. Fellaini will score a goal, and then at half time he said, I'd like to see Mkhitaryan come off for Lingard because Lingard's got great movement. There we go. Get the lottery numbers off Ross.
Yeah. The Guinness does wonders for big boy.
Well, we got the 1,000 likes as well, didn't we? I'd love us to go, and I'd like to see Martial coming on in the next 5 minutes, and let's push on and get, at least 5 would be nice. Well, let's at least level up with City for goal difference.
No, just seeing Mkhitaryan come off there, he doesn't look happy at all, and so he shouldn't actually, because his performance in the second half has not been very good at all.
Not good enough again at all.
No. So yeah, totally understand the substitution from Jose.
A couple of good comments here. Christopher Morton says, I've been watching the United Stand during the summer transfer window because Mark is great. Aside from his obsession with someone who could float it into the box. Well, we found that with Ashley Young now. On which point, George Kyle, I didn't forget your comment actually, it's always been in the back of the head. He said, now will you admit that the in-swinging cross is better than the natural cross? No, I won't. The natural cross is better than the in-swinger. Ashley Young can do both. And here is Ashley Young coming down the left again. That's 4 goals from the left-hand side now, though, in the league.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it'd be interesting to see how many goals we scored from an in-swinging to a natural cross.
I'd say most would be in-swinging because we haven't really got... We don't really play people to put the natural one in. It's always going to... If Ashley Young's playing on the left, it's always going to be an in-swinger, is it? Because he can't cross with his left.
Yeah.
Can Fellaini get a hat-trick? I'll tell you what, it'd be nice for him to get one. But then again, Lukaku didn't do it in midweek. I really thought he was. In fact, until he gets his hat-trick, that can go off. It starts to itch after a bit. It's quite irritating, a bit like Fellaini.
I can imagine it gets quite hot on top of your head. Let's have a look. Fortune Ochibiri says, "Who is the best young talent in world football?"
Depends what you define as young. I mean, you know, Mbappe's not. He's still only 18, isn't he? I mean, I think he's wasted his career going to PSG. But Martial's about to be 22 in December. I'd still class that as young. Martial is coming on. Says Luke Escobar. That might be because of Rashford's knock to his bell.
Michael Twiddy says, "Bring on McTominay for Lukaku."
We'll have a job. He's not even on the bench.
Oh yeah, I thought all that.
But I really hope we don't concede because Crystal Palace haven't scored a goal all season and we've been very good at the back, so we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but again, you can never know in football. It's a funny old game, and it would be just our luck that they do manage to nick one flukily.
Michael Scofield makes a good point. I'd be very worried with Ashley Young at left back for Liverpool because Salah will murder him. I mean, to be fair, Ashley Young is brilliant going forward for us at the moment. He's making so many goals. He's been fantastic. But I've got to be honest, I can't be totally up his bottom because defensively he's not been that good today. So that, how we'll be talking about it over the next 2 weeks on the United Stand, how we prepare for the Liverpool game, because I personally feel midfield 3, strong back 4, pace up front, bring it on.
Yeah. Snap says, "How many minutes left?" So I'm on the 69th minute, so 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'm getting excited about these fan cams.
Michael Clegg says we need a 4th goal. Well, I think the game was dead at 2-0, but at 3-0 it's officially finished.
Yeah, we're chasing the goal difference now, aren't we?
Yeah. So Martial's coming on. Taking off his chains.
Yeah, Goldie looking chains.
Do you know what I think? I know you said Ashley Young's not been very good defensively, but I think in a game like this, you can afford to not be at your very best down, left back and right back. So if you're going to push on,
Lukaku.
Yeah, you should have done it there.
Chance.
Yeah.
It's a lovely ball by Matic, and Lukaku. He does everything right. He just gets his shot just wrong. That's a sitter in Lukaku's book to miss that.
Yeah, when you look at the goals he scored already this season, he should be doing better there.
I'm glad I didn't captain him actually. So it's Rashford coming off for Martial. I tell you what, I'm just loving supporting United at the moment though. And I know that sounds like a fair weather fan, but if you've been watching the United Stand, you know nothing could be further from the truth. Many of us have been here through the bad times over the last 4 years, and you deserve the good times when you persevere through the bad times. And the amount of times we've sat there going, we'll get better, we're at the start of a mountain, there's going to be some slips and we're going to go down before we come back up, and we've persevered. And yeah, of course, for Manchester United we've got great resources and we've got the best manager in the world for me, but There's no guarantees in football. Look at people like Liverpool and Arsenal. They've not won titles for decades. And I'm not saying we're going to win the title, but you can't win the title all the time anyway. It's about the entertainment factor, really. Martial nearly getting that on the end of... See, again, Martial comes on and straight away it's about efficiency. It's about when I've got the ball, I'm going to find a pass. I'm going to put a decent cross in. It's always efficient. He's really learnt that over the summer.
Yeah, I mean, the Rashford and Martial debate, you know, you can't really... I mean, I know everyone loves Rashford, everyone likes Martial, but with only the one main striker, you can't really fit them both in at the same time. But Martial, as soon as he gets the ball, you know, as soon as he comes on, he's involved straight away.
Just under 20 minutes to go then, Marcus, and everybody at home.
Yeah.
Do we fancy a goal from Martial?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes. I think the kid has got that much pace. He's got the skills in him to.
He just lights up the team, doesn't he? At the moment, I mean,
yeah.
He's our best player. Let's be honest. He is our best player. In the absence of Pogba, he is our best. He's certainly our best flair player. He's our most exciting player, and I mean, he's just put a lovely ball into Lukaku again. And we've put it over the bar.
Yeah. Again, another chance goes begging for him. He should have definitely scored that one earlier, though, a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Alpo says Martial's our best player, hands down. I think, as somebody just said there as well, he's done his homework over the summer. He's become so clinical when he comes on the pitch, whereas I think last season he was trying too hard, and maybe half of what he did would come off and half of it would fail terribly, and that would be infuriating to any manager. And I think what he's done over the summer is he's now 80% of what he does comes off and 20% doesn't, and that sort of stat, you can live with that, because what he does is very good.
Yeah, it is good, but it's got to be on... I know you can't really say consistent basis because Martial's not really starting every game, but when he comes on, all he can do is just, you know, play his game.
Yeah.
Just show Jose what he's good at. Don't try and overdo it. Don't... what's the word? Like, don't overthink it, you know? Just play your natural game with a smile on your face and go for it.
I've got a funny feeling Palace might get a goal, you know. We're a bit ropey at the back.
I'll put that down to the two centre-backs, mate, that.
I was going to say, it's a big achievement for Jones and Smalling to get centre-back with all the flack they've taken. You know, you either hate Jones or hate Smalling. Although, I've always liked Smalling, and I do respect what Phil Jones is doing. If Phil Jones can stay fit, he can play every week for me. I've never... To be honest, it's hard to say whether Phil Jones is a top centre-back because you never see him play more than 4 or 5 games, so you should never really judge him. But if Mourinho wants to play him and he can stay fit for a lot of games, then I'm happy with that. And Smalling, I've always liked Smalling. I've always been a defender of Smalling, even when he can't defend himself.
I think with Chris Smalling, he played well under Van Gaal because of the two in front of him. But now, he's not the same player for me, and I just think he's being exposed.
Smalling?
I think so, yeah. When he plays, yeah. I don't trust him at all, Mark.
See, I never get any credit. You know, I know I'm a bit critical of Fellaini, and always probably will be, but I stick up for a player that a lot of people don't like, and it's like, oh, you know, he's crap.
I just think Smalling, positionally, he's not very good. I know. I remember last season you said.
You know what? I'll interrupt you. I thought Mata was actually going to make 90 minutes. He's not. He's coming off.
Nah, yeah. It's a shame actually because he's done very well, but he has gone quiet the second half. I've missed who he's coming off for, Mark. Who was it?
Herrera.
Yeah,
Herrera deserves a run out. I thought he was very good in the week. Let's have a look what's going on in the other games, because I think tonight will be a match of the day night for all of us. I'll have to end my stream early, actually, if it's 10:30. Remember, on That's Football tonight, we've got the Watchalong for City and Chelsea from 5:30. That's on our That's Football YouTube channel. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, if you're into FIFA 18, I'm doing probably 2.5 hours, because I'm match of the day. 2.5 hours stream of my FIFA career mode from 8 o'clock. So join us for that. Not a lot going on in the Premier League. Bournemouth and Leicester 0-0. Man United obviously 3-0. Stoke still 1-0 up against Southampton. West Brom still 2-1 up against Watford, and West Ham 0-0 with Swansea. So a lot of clean sheets floating around the Premier League at the moment. But Palace have a free kick.
Since the substitutions, they're coming into the game a bit now. It's a little too late, but I think Mourinho's concentrating now, especially with the Herrera sub, focusing on the clean sheet. We got, 12, 13 minutes to go? I think if there's any positive for Crystal Palace, I think it's Townsend.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He was the danger man in the first half against Ashley Young. Anything exciting that they do normally comes through him.
I'm just putting a tweet out about the fan cams.
Yeah.
So near the bridge, next to Hotel Football and the Mega Store, we'll be filming on the United Stand. Again, I doubt we've got many people who are watching the watch-along who are actually at Old Trafford, but you never know in the modern world, there might be. Get yourself down there, and you could be a star on the United Stand this evening. I'll tell you what, Marcus, and everyone at home, I can't wait to see him. It's really interesting for this channel that we're going to get some content up that's not all me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it on the United Stand. It's going to be a proud moment that we should all be really proud of collectively, because we grow together on this channel. We are a fan community. Very much been a global one, and we will continue to be. Skype Goldbridge, obviously, where you Skype in and have your say. That's on a Monday night at 8 o'clock and a Thursday at 8 o'clock. But getting some more people on who are at the games and giving that sort of opinion as well, it's really exciting. Real step forward for the channel. We'll see how it goes, you know. But make sure you are subscribed and you've got your bell ticked, and you're getting the notifications, because they'll be going up tonight. And really interested to see what you all think and how that goes.
Yep, absolutely fantastic for the channel. And like I say, it's a whole community. It's like to get everyone involved as many times as you can. Less than 90 subscribers away from 140,000 now.
Anthony Corley says, Mark, please give a shout out to Ben Hurst. It's his first time watching. Well, all I can say is to all the new people we've got and to all the existing people, look, make sure you're tuning into all the other stuff we do, because I know I love Skype Goldbridge on a Monday night. Sunday night show at 8 o'clock as well. Very, very good. But we're live every night at 8, and there's so much to get involved with. So please do, and get involved with that community. The live comments are always up. I don't know whether we're going to get another goal.
Joe, I'd like to see us get 4, just to keep that momentum of getting 4 goals in a game.
Martial's just missed a chance. That was it,
yeah.
1-on-1. It was a lovely bit of play on the break. Herrera, Martial, and it was a good save. He didn't do anything wrong.
So Hawkster 88 says he's new, wants a shout out. There you go. So just under 10 minutes to go.
Fair lady. Oh. Can he get a hat trick? There's a cross coming in, that's why I'm singing it.
Oh.
It's not dead yet.
No. No. I think overall I'm quite impressed with this.
Well, it's been a weird one, hasn't it? We've had 2 Saturday kickoffs at 3 o'clock in a row, and they've been kind to us. So maybe a few more in the future.
Yeah, I did expect Crystal Palace to, let's say, not. I mean, it's a game of football, isn't it? I really expected them to just sit there and play for the draw, but they have come at us a couple of times, but not because of themselves, because of our own mistakes and losing the ball too cheaply.
Yeah.
I think everyone's put in a solid performance this afternoon.
Who would you, and it's slightly still a bit early, but who would be your man of the match?
Do you know what? I think there's a few that you could say. Mata had a really good first half. Obviously he's gone off. Matic has been Matic as usual, tidying up, doing everything really well. I know Ashley Young's not been good defensively, but he's done reasonably well, the left back. But for me,
I knew you were building. I know where you're going. I was like, when's he going to mention the one he's not? He's going to give it to him.
You don't praise him enough, mate. So for me, mate, it's Fellaini. 2 goals. He's got his foot in again. When he's called upon, we needed someone to get the second goal to kill it off. Up he popped, and he's got the 3rd one as well. So yeah, for me, the big Belgian Marouane.
You see, in all seriousness, I don't see how it can be given to Fellaini, because I know he scored the 2 goals, but actually, in his midfield job, I don't think he's actually been that good. And that's what his job is. I think he's been okay. I just think, well, we're judging him as the number 10, which is where he should be playing, is what I'm trying to say. I think in the opposition's box, he's a bloody nightmare, and he's been brilliant at that today. But as a midfielder, I think Crystal Palace have actually done, you know, whilst being quite toothless, I think they've caused us a few problems at times. I don't know. He might he might be my man of the match. You can't pin that
down to him.
Well, he's a midfielder.
Well, yeah, but so's Matic.
Yeah, Matic has been good. Look, what I'm saying is, I'm not convinced he's man of the match. But having said that, I never give my man of the match away until I do the match reaction show, and he might still come out on top. He might do. So,
if he in the next 7 minutes, if he gets his hat trick, would you still not give him man of the match?
You'd have to give him man of the match. I'm not that horrible.
I just think for his performance and 2 goals, you can't really. There have been some really good individual performances. Matic, like I say,
you could give it Rashford 2 assists.
Yeah, but you know, it's like you say, all the glory goes to the person that scores the goal. They don't really, you know, you're not known for assisting, are you, as such?
All I can say is Fellaini's going to feature on the, because I'm doing it now, the thumbnail for the game. So he's on there for the 2nd time this season. So, you know, he must be doing something right. Not everyone gets on a United Stand thumbnail match reaction.
4-0 Lukaku.
Oh, I'm messing around. Let's have a look.
And I think, was that Martial assist?
Herrera, Martial, Lukaku. He always does something.
He's done it, yeah. He's kept that goal scoring record up.
Well, he might not have got a goal today, but the stats, you talk about assists and all that, he's stunning. Absolutely stunning. 4-0, Lukaku,
yep.
Never in doubt. Well, we've levelled up with City for goal difference.
It's that man. I know, people will probably be talking about the assist again from Martial and the impact he makes coming off the bench. But Lukaku again, he's come up trumps. as a striker, all you want to do is score. And he's certainly doing that at the minute.
Well, it's almost a certainty in life, isn't it? That Martial scores, Martial does something when he comes on, and Lukaku scores a goal. And we might get a couple more. There's still a little bit of time left. What we got? 5 minutes? Crystal Palace are losing their head a bit. There's still time for us to go and do what we normally do and get a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fantastic if we can actually get one more.
Yeah, because that puts us ahead of City. I mean,
yeah.
If they win, they'll still go ahead of us. But
I mean, I can't imagine the City and Chelsea game being a free scoring game.
And number 10 plays better with Herrera and Pogba in the midfield, says Jeff Doherty. Very well observed, mate. Very well observed.
So, I mean, since Lingard's come on as well, he's tracked back really well.
Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on with old Mkhitaryan. Games like this, he should be eating it for breakfast. It's on a plate, but at the end of the day, as I said in the first half, he sort of becomes immune to it because we're doing so well without him.
Well, I mean, obviously, when Pogba comes back, he's going to walk straight back in. But I think if we continue winning and
Martial's just been chopped down badly there.
Yeah.
Beckham's at Old Trafford. Get him on a fan cam. He's got rubbish hair. Can you pull that door, please? Mada. Thanks. So we've got a free kick here. This could be this is a Fellaini opportunity with this sort of cross. If he can get it right. Ashley Williams. No thanks. Ashley Young.
Blazing Guns said, who scored the fourth? It was Lukaku.
Yeah. Like I say, Lukaku goal, Martial assist. You'd be surprised if it didn't happen.
And again, Mark, I mean, I know it's not over yet, but another clean sheet.
Yeah, well, it pays to have De Gea in your goal. That's all I'm going to say. Just want to see what happens with this cross here.
Oh, 30 subscribers away from 140,000. Come on, guys,
come on.
quick.
If you've not subscribed to the United Stand, just do it, just to get us over 140,000. That would be fantastic.
Got about 4 minutes left.
You know,
yeah. Go on, just get it in there. Get a fifth. Darth Vader says De Gea the world best. Yeah.
I mean, he's not had a lot to do today, but he is
No,
the
he's
world's
not.
best.
No. Vincent O'Hara says Herrera's been brilliant since he came on. He has done quite well, actually.
Right. Just setting up the live stream for the match reaction. I'm still trying to think through man of the matches, but I'm glad Martial's come on and done something. It's not always, for me, it's not always about the goals. I know Marcus is all about the goals. He's not bothered about the assists. But anyway, just very quickly, talking about FIFA 18, we've got to get this FIFA bloody teams thing.
We've done it. 140,000. We've done it.
Well, that's a big well done to all of you. Fantastic for doing that. 140,000 subscribers is no mean feat. So well done for doing that. I didn't think we were going to do that today. And what's important about that is that we do it on the day where we're debuting fan cams. So make sure to watch the fan cams as they come up on the channel, probably from about 6 o'clock, 6:30. So being subscribed, and if you are a subscriber and you haven't clicked the bell, which is underneath the video, click the bell and click the to get all notifications, because those fan cams are going to be going up through the evening, and we really want to get your sort of thoughts and opinions on those.
I'm really looking forward to that.
You and me both, because
Yeah.
it's the first time in a long time that I'm not actually going to be on the content. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
I suppose it'll feel a bit strange for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is going to be weird, but it's the way. It's what I want the channel to do. I think we all want it to do. It's not about. It's never been about like me or you or anybody else. It's a fan community. That's why the live comments are up on every video. So the more we get, is one of the big reasons that sort of changed my mind to start doing it. Somebody said, well, it's another opportunity to get more United fans involved, and they're right.
Yeah, I can imagine it feeling very weird watching something on the channel that's nothing to do with you.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. No, I'm only joking. I'm sure it'll be good. Right, I've got the match reaction. Oh no, stay there.
So we've got just under a minute left of this game, extra time. Quickly, Mark, what do you think for City and Chelsea?
I just think City are going to win it. I don't know why. Don't know, what do you?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
I tell you what, I'll be watching Match of the Day tonight anyway. But if we can get, if that's a draw, that would be stunning, absolutely stunning for United. United have won 4-0, so we've levelled up with City with goal difference, which is great. Obviously, if City win, they'll go ahead of us because they'll have better goal difference. But yeah, so what's ahead? Well, we've got nearly 3,000 watching. So if you're watching Man City versus Chelsea, make sure you get onto That's Football, because we're doing a watch along on there for that. That will go live at about 5:30. That's Football, not on the United Stand, obviously. 5:30 for the watch along on that. 8 o'clock tonight on That's Football, I'll be doing a 2-hour or 3-hour, it depends what time Match of the Day starts, FIFA 18 stream, episode 3 of my career mode. Join me for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've already had one whiskey, so it's going to get even better. And also, make sure you subscribe. You've got your notifications on and ticked, because from about 6 o'clock tonight, we'll have fan cams going up on the United Stand for the first time ever. I'm excited. It's like Christmas Eve. It's like Christmas Day. It's going to happen. Really looking forward to that. So make sure you watch them and back them, support them, share them, and all that jazz. But thanks to everybody who's been involved on the watch along today. You've been absolutely fantastic. We've nearly hit 2,000 likes as well, let alone 140,000 subscribers, which is amazing. Thanks to Marcus for coming on.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always. Always available, as you know. And thanks to everyone in the comments. And you know, what a landmark day it's been.
Yep, and it's only going to get better. And he is always available. You can find him under Grindr, under Dirty Old Man, or is it Tinder? One of the two. But I'm going to do my match reaction stream now. Man of the match, I'm still undecided on, so that's worth watching for. But I've taken a few notes, as I always do through the game. Some really very relevant things to discuss in the match reaction. So the link in the video description's there for the match reaction, and I'll be live on there in 60 seconds. Or you can go through the homepage if you want. But the link's in the video description. You can go and get yourself ready, because the live comments is on over there. But I'll see you over there in 60 seconds. Thanks for Marcus, and I'll see you on my match reaction in a minute. Another fantastic day for United. Thanks for coming on, Marcus.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always. Like I say, I'm always
join me for the. Are you going to be watching the stream later, FIFA 18, or are you busy?
Yeah, of course I will.
All right, mate. I'll see you then.
Yeah, Mark, we're all right, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Before you got